Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Swimmer Sync 101. It is I, Mad Gamer II. I am joined by the one and only Grace.
Oh my goodness, we're back again. Again. Can you believe it?
Indeed, it has been quite the ride. We are in that big old 101. We are into the next century of Swim or Sync. It is exciting.
Now that you said that, it makes me feel really old.
I was looking at it the other day, and apparently I've been doing this since 35. Time has flown, I'll tell you.
I know. I remember poking you about commentating and stuff, and now I'm here with you. It's diabolical almost.
It just comes full circle, and I love it.
So, I'm mad. The tongue twister of tongue twisters. These two teams we have in front of us. We've been trying to make sure that we say their names right for the past 5 minutes.
Indeed, hopefully the bit of coaching we had will pay off. First up, we have Ikaryoku and Iruka. I hope I said that correct.
I think it's Iruka.
Iruka, okay.
I asked them in Battlefight chat because I looked at these names and I said, Grace, I don't know how to say either of these. So
this is gonna be a fun match to just trying to get past the names, but nonetheless, looks like we have pretty fantastic lineup for these teams. I recognize a few of the names. I can't quite recall what they're going to be playing, but it is going to be Zones, Hagelfish. I know there's a couple of standard weapons we tend to see on this map mode.
definitely. I think we commentated Ikaryoku before in our wonderful duo debut a few SOSs ago. So I'm happy to see them back. I think they've played like every SOS from then too. So they just like really like us or something. But so I'm very interested to see what they play here. Because Hagelfish Zones is like a very popular map mode from what I have been told. And from what I think too, so
it is certainly one of my favorites, and we definitely have the changes and also some of the new weapons in play. It's going to be an exciting match. Both teams are rocking the new Splat Charger there.
I can't escape the fire fin. It's everywhere I go. Like I can't. Oh, they just went down though. But it's just everywhere I go. I mean, Kraken weapons too. I mean, it's just utterly terrifying.
Indeed, a lot of the players are loving the new weapons and specials and making good use of them as well. Especially Ikaryoku here, they're going to be taking the zone for the first bit of this match, although they do lose their splash shot in the process, and it seems Iruka is going to be contesting that zone pretty strongly.
Yeah, is that Sonar, formerly of Illumini fame? Somebody in the chat will know. They always know in the chat, but sorry, so I made them go down. But, but I'm happy to see them back in action. Really, really good Slayer. Like one of the scariest I've ever faced. So they're probably going to be turning a lot of tables here. So happy to see them. But currently, Ikaryoku are going to be in control of that zone. Not for long though, because when those strikes come out, you just kind of have to give it away.
Yeah, unless you get sucked up in the vortex, it's better to bail, and especially when they're going to be pinging over the zone as well, that's going to keep you trapped. But it looks like this Charger's got no fear, just going to be facing it head on and still trying to keep control of the zone. So far, Ikaryoku has been doing an excellent job of keeping it in their favor, even though they do have 2-3 numbers down. Now we see the first Kraken of the match in play.
And as we can see by this wonderful Kraken gameplay, they just tank everything. There is no stopping. It's just a brute force. But I'm happy to see that Iruka. I got it. Iruka here is going to be able to make a bit of a push. I think what kind of failed them earlier with those trip strikes was that they didn't really push in with it when it was trying to cap that zone. So I think they kind of learned from that, because is that 2 trip strike weapons?
That is indeed between the Splatter Shot and the Splat Charger, they are definitely rocking the double. No, wait, they got 3. They have a T-Tech, they have the Neo Splash, and the Charger. All 3 rocking the Tri-Strike.
So honestly, yeah, Storm over here gonna do the flank of the century. They are gonna get. Oh, they did get one. Yo, that was really good. Going back into the mid here, trying to get some more picks. That Zipcaster coming out. It kind of looks like their teammates cleaned up everybody before they could really get their moment to shine, but still a pretty successful push there from Stampers, and or that Stamper, and I think Stampers can sometimes struggle with kind of getting in people's faces and not really paying off from it. So that was kind of a good play.
Using the Zipcaster there just to stay alive, at least until they found the Kraken. That was allowed their teammates to get back in, and it looks like they're still going to be in control of the zone for the time being, getting close to that lead, and they will be taking it with Iruka still pushed up in their zone, but that's going to be the tri-strike coming out to flip it, and a 3-4 down for Ikaryoku.
Yeah, and I think the name of the game here is to kind of get your trip strikes before they can get theirs and just pick them off. Honestly, I'm surprised to only see one crab here because we know SOS is quite the showing of what's meta right now. And from what I heard, people were expecting to see more crabs still after this after these new weapons came out.
I think it's just like a toss-up. Like there's so many good options now. Like you gotta have a balance of everything. There's no one good way to run the game now. So it's just you do what is I guess you're more comfortable with, and then just keeping a balance of everything just to prepare for whatever eventuality. You know that eventuality is going to be 3 tri-strikes.
I know. I'm surprised that Ikaryoku here is going to be able to keep that zone. Oh, they do go 3 down. Yeah, I mean, they even after all those strip strikes, they were holding pretty steady and strong, which I think goes to show that you really do have to push up with a lot of these specials, because if you don't, you can't really capitalize off of what makes that special good in the first place.
Absolutely, like something that I've heard and I think really makes a whole lot of sense and has really changed my view of the gameplay is like you want to use your special to move the opponent out of the way to get to where you want to go. Like that is one of the biggest uses of a special, and what makes so many specials strong in this game is they're able to move the opponents out of the way in a lot of maps that are there's no really way to go around. You just gotta kind of go through, and Hecklefish is one of those maps. And so being able to utilize that and not necessarily just let the special do the work is what really pays off in the end.
We say that. Unfortunately, I feel like on tower control, probably on Makomar here too, because it's a very, everybody loves my bread analogies. It's a very white bread kind of map, like anything can go, which I think makes it interesting, because you can just run whatever you want. But I digress. Kraken on tower control. What do? Like you just, like, you can't even GG Booyah Bomb, you can't GG, I guess you could trip strike, but like what do you even do? And we know one of these teams is going to be running a Kraken, so like, what's going to be your mindset knowing that you're going to have to go against that going into this match, I'm at?
It is tough. Like, there's no really good way to counter it other than let it run out and then punish it afterward. But when you get into those last couple of points, you know, that's when it really becomes crucial. And again, there's just not really a solid way to counter it other than like just sheer firepower to knock it off.
Yeah. Also, honestly, just killing them before they get the Kraken, I've heard is a very popular consensus, especially with Clan Blitz too, where you can do the old baller method, going in and just getting in those jumps for power clams. But I think you're gonna kind of have to be hyper aware of where that Kraken player is, and if they're currently building their special, you just have to kill them, just constantly.
That is an excellent point. You know, like the main way to combat is just not let them set up with it in the first place. You know it's going to be strong in the position. Just don't let them get in that position.
And I think that can be especially tough with the Gal specifically, and also I think the Crack-On Roller. 2 of my lovely teammates over at Wormwind, Drexel Esports, play the Crack-On and the Gal with Kraken, so I've seen firsthand how easy it can be to set up a kind of devastating tower control situation like that, where you just can't really counterplay.
Indeed, and it looks like we already see that first 96 Gal with that Kraken, but no Kraken gonna be coming out for the side of as a Ikaryoku here.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised with that. Oh no, it's Iruka that doesn't have the crab here. They're the ones in the purple here, but oh, bruh, the first 15 seconds of the game we already have a crab contesting that stack, which is a really powerful position there. They are trying to weasel their way out of there, but they don't really find their exit, and that does kind of stink there. But it looks like Iruka here is going to be able to push that tower a little.
Yeah, that was quite chaotic there. We saw the tri-strike and both of the crafts just popping out, and either just trying to knock them off that tower before it really can get that checkpoint back, but they're doing a good job of just staying alive, and you already see another tri-strike coming out, but that's going to be the tower lost for the time being, able to just take out those two members.
It looks like they still have map control here by the looks of it, so it's going to be kind of hard for Ikaryoku here to try and push back in. But, I mean, it looks like I kind of stand corrected. They're kind of getting that map control back. And once you get those stacks, it can kind of spiral from the mid-fight from there.
Yeah, so the stacks are going to be, they're basically the high ground for mid. And so just trying to keep those under control is going to be pretty powerful, especially for the crab users here. The E-leader is going to be one of the main ones to contest that, but when there's too much going at it, you know, not really a whole lot they can do except back up. And it looks like there's just a firefight going on in mid for that tower. Like, neither team has really a solid control at this point.
Right, and it's a little late into this game. I'm kind of surprised at how skirmishy it's going on a little bit right here. Like, nobody's gotten that first checkpoint. It just kind of goes to show that these teams are kind of respecting each other in the sense that they are a little scared to push forward.
Indeed, they're doing their best not to be countered too powerfully. We do see a nice pick on the E-leader. A double right there, but that is going to be 3 down for Iruka right there. So only the... I couldn't remember what was the last one up, but the crab is going to be taking that all the way to the checkpoint, and they are going to try to take that lead back as small as it is. They're not even able to get it there. 1 point, and they are going to be going 2 down.
Listen, when we have those hype moments where it's like, oh my gosh, they're 1 point away, it's usually not with 78 and 77 being the score. I mean, this is like ridiculous.
This is getting pretty nuts. Like, we haven't even seen a really powerful Kraken play yet. Like, we've been talking about how powerful it is for tower control, but it hasn't been around. It's just between the crabs and the E-leader.
Yeah, and I think E-leader is really dominant. Just recently, and also on this map specifically, I think, because it is so anything goes sort of, and if you don't have somebody to really be on that E-leader's butt the whole game, like, they kind of just feed for free.
Pretty much. We have seen some nice plays by the T-Tech, just the main weapon, getting up right underneath that E-leader's ledge there, just trying to keep them on their toes and not be able to set up too powerfully. But now with that splash gone, that's going to be their crab as well as their wiper, and then one more, that's going to be 3 down. This might be the opportunity that Ikaryoku needs. Yeah,
I think if they can get control of that top left area, especially with that first checkpoint still being the main objective right now, they're having passed it, which is really, really good for them. That splash is going for the mid-fight. They do trade, which I'm very surprised about. I'm seeing Sonar here under the tower trying to get a few picks with the Kraken. Once that Kraken... I'm with you, Sonar. When that Kraken comes out, I just have to run away. Honestly, pretty clean defense there. I feel like they kind of stagnated the opposing team, which is very important. You kind of like make them a little scared during their push, and that kind of makes them spiral off and die or back out from there.
Yes, absolutely, and they're already on the aggression after that push. We are in the last minute of the game. Again, just not so many points taken so far. I think Ikaryoku has gotten it to 40, but that's only the second checkpoint. If Iruka could keep up this aggression, they can easily take this back.
Definitely, and we see their splash always on that stack control. The entire game I've noticed with them is they're really conscious of making sure that that stack is in their control, which I think is, like we've been talking about, very, very important on Mako. And I think that's going to lead them well here with their push. There's 2 on the tower, though. Oh my god, the 1 point meme from before.
They were able to take that lead right there just by the 1 point, but that might be the 1 point that they need. All they gotta do is make sure that tower does not cross center line, and gotta be on the tower when that timer ends. 3 down.
I see that they were getting a little anxious there, Iruka, but I think they should just play it a little patient here. I think if they can do it, I mean, they have that lead. No need to play super scared. Oh wait, no, the Kraken is coming, so they do have to play scared. They gotta strike that Kraken off. Oh, wait, who won?
I don't even know. Wait,
I think
They brought it
Wait,
back? They
nobody
brought
was
it
even
back?
on the tower. Bruh, I'd be so upset. Again, it's that Kraken. It's that darn Kraken. Once you see it, you just gotta go into panic mode. You gotta know
Oh
what
my
to do.
goodness. Ikaryoku bringing it back with the 1 point. They were successfully knocked off the tower, but just the momentum of it carried it past that 1 point that they needed in the overtime. The sheer rush that they had there with the specials came out, the Kraken came out, and even with the Tri-Strike coming down on tower, they were able to maintain it for as long as they needed to bring that back.
Yeah, and I think that choke point, I guess you could call it, where that like second-ish area with the checkpoint and then like the drop is a very tough area to just kind of brute force your way through. But if the other team is panicking, and I kind of saw that, you know, it's overtime, obviously you're going to be panicking, it can kind of fall through, like your defense can kind of fall through.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say to Iruka's credit, like they were doing exactly as we were saying. Like we didn't see any real Kraken plays for the first half of that match. Like it wasn't until like the very end where we saw it come out and shine. And they were just doing a good job of making sure that they didn't have a setup. Like with the E leader, they had some incredible defense, but they just weren't able to set up that push until the very, very end.
Right, and I wonder if maybe I should have paid more attention to the Gal player specifically, but I wonder if maybe they were purposefully not letting the Gal have any room to breathe to avoid any Kraken mishaps, honestly. I'm curious to see how many Krakens they used that match, because I feel like I only saw that one at the end.
Indeed, we saw that like both of the pushes utilized the Kraken, but both times it was just bombarded by that Tri-Strike. Now, as you said before, they were also had the nice crab plays on the stacks. I think that was a big part of just what kept them at bay for so much of that match.
Right, right. And again, that goes to show just how strong Crab still is in the meta. Even though we're having all these counterplays and Nintendo's probably shaking their finger saying, no, 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 this is how you're supposed to counter Crab. It's a good special. There's no denying that ever. So it's always a solid pick to go Splash in general, or just Crab weapons in general.
Absolutely. It's just, at this point, it's good to see like we have a nice mix of it. Like we're not seeing all of one thing, you know. It's like we have a more of a balanced comp where they're prepared to have more variety in it, and it's working.
And I mean, I still see that people. I mean, they did have double splash, but at least it was 2 different splashes. Progress, people, progress. Progress.
That is true. That is true. And we do have some word from on high that Kraken is always the answer.
Yes, yes.
That may be the case.
That is our lovely, lovely streamer tonight, Toshi, who is new to streaming SOS, by the way. Shout out to them.
Absolutely. Big shout out. Now it is going to be a play all 3, so we're going on to this last match of Rainmaker Museum. Even though Ikaryoku has taken the first 2 and taken the set, that last match could still come in handy later on for the final cut.
Always, always. Listen, I'm also an SOS head TO, among other things, which currently right now I'm the lovely commentator, possibly commentator.
You could say you have graced us with your presence.
Oh my, oh my goodness, that's crazy. Those games do count. I have seen times where I look at the bracket and I'm seeding it, as you do, and I'm like, oh wow, I can't believe this team made Hammerhead this week, and I look and it's because they won like a game or something off of some crazy team. It matters, y'all. Don't let your guard down.
For sure. Don't let the matches get away. We're seeing the stamp make a return. That has been pretty darn strong for Rainmaker.
The vanilla splatter shot. I feel like it hasn't been getting a lot of love lately, so I'm very happy to see my good friend, the vanilla splatter shot back.
And it is perfectly timed as well. We're seeing that double splash rear its head once again. And honestly, I could see why. This is a nice map for them to set up on with Rainmaker as the mode. You want some mobility. You want a lot of just fast aggression.
Yeah. Speaking of mobility, surprised to see the E leader. I think I always say that, but it always ends up being a really good pick. Again, they're going 2 down. Oh no! The Rainmaker missed the jump onto the pedestal there. Honestly, that might have lost them that push there. And I do not say that lightly. I'm mad. You know. Speed is so important on Rainmaker, and that E leader does go down. Oh my gosh! They're gonna be making a push here. Oh my goodness.
Yes, Iruka is making the comeback here. They are bringing up the ramp, and they do lose their stamina in the process. That 96 is setting up on that corner, just kind of keeping away from that pedestal. But with the crab, oh, well, the crab was there, and now the Rainmaker is going to be going down.
Yeah, Sonar, I see you. I can tell because your hat is very distinct and I like it. Can I order that off you sometime? You should message me. Um, but they're just out here shredding and they do go down. I'm so sorry. Every time I talk about them, I'm so sorry. The defense here is going to be kind of tricky because once that checkpoint falls, it's kind of a massacre, honestly. So keeping that checkpoint is definitely their main priority here. The crab popping, trying to keep mid here. They know that the last person is going back onto their plat, probably calling it out like crazy. Hopefully they can get a better push here.
Oh no, they're trying to come back to get the Rainmaker, but they are taken down. Now they are once again set up on this corner, but just the defense is, they're back from spawn. They're ready to just keep them from getting any more points. Now is not so much a huge lead right now. He's easily be able to take it back. They're still going to be fighting for it.
Sonar, I see you. I always see you. They're out here playing right now. They see that person in the corner. They probably think that they're going to jump. They don't really get them, but their teammate cleans it up and gets a double there. I see you, Gabe. I also see you. Out here doing good.
We're once again at a 2 down for Ikaryoku. It is, both of these teams have been losing members, but still managed to keep the fight in mid. Neither team has been able to really move up into the enemy plat. And it goes to show, just even with so many members down, they're able to keep their head in the game. They're able to keep their cool. And now we might be seeing another push from Iruka.
Yeah, and I think if they can get past that first checkpoint there, it's gonna really be a massacre because of their really fast-paced comp.
They got a crack on the tail and a crab on the front. That was gonna be quite the pincer right there.
Lovely sandwich.
No pun intended.
Oh, yo, that was so that was so good. Are you kidding me?
Oh man, but Ikaryoku is going to be taking the Rainmaker and the 3 down. Once again, just Sonar left, and they are going to be popping that crab, just trying to stall it out while their teammate respawns. But Dino here is going to be coming up, trying to push that crab out. They get a push, or they get a pick. They're trying to get the second pick. They're slowly inching their way towards that.
If they get that Kraken, if they get that Kraken, oh, you already know. Oh, never mind. Actually.
They get the trade off that and a few more points. That's gonna protect them for if they do end up getting that checkpoint. They still have the 1 point lead from getting it first. So that's just gonna solidify for just a little bit more.
Right, I forgot. They still haven't even gotten that checkpoint. Oh, the double with the crab! As you do. With Splash here. They're looking like they're gonna have a really good push here. I think they can crack that checkpoint if they make that jump from mid, which I think they just did. I think I did just call it. They're gonna pop here. You know, with those faster paced weapons, popping is very easy for them. They went head first into that crowd, which I do very much support because, you know, why not? YOLO for points.
They were quite this. Oh, the double off the pop. That was going to be huge. That's going to bring it down all the way to 20. They were taken out, but that was going to be 20 more points on the board. That is going to be a huge lead to come back from.
Nah, I'd be so mad. I'd be like, no. I'd be mauling right now if I was them. Oh my gosh. A double with the shield is crazy. That was awesome.
That was insane. We saw the splash wall as well, just didn't deploy in time to protect its members. Now we're going to have 10 seconds to get that pop and get it moving, but with all of Iruka is up, and that's going to be some specials coming online soon. They're going to have to really pick them off if they're going to want to keep in this game.
Yeah, and I think overtime Rainmaker pushes have to be the worst because you're just so scared. Oh, yeah, just any moment. The Stamper is just going to come and get you.
Just the stabber to the face is going to end that match with one match for Iruka's favor here, bringing it to a 2-1 for Ikaryoku.
Yes. I'm so glad that they didn't give up. It's so important. These games do matter. Look me in the face right now. I know you can't see me. Look at me. Look at the screen. When my name pops up somewhere, if it does, the games, they all matter. All of them.
Yeah, you only got so many shots, and every single one of them matters. But dang, that was quite the comeback here. Making sure that they didn't walk away with a 3-0. That's going to be one more point in their bag as they move on to the next set. And got the play as well, like just swimming through, being a little slippery squid that they are, and going through just a Hail Mary of all sorts of crab fire and all sorts. Like, they got the pop as well, even after they went down, and were able to just 2 members down. That was so unfortunate.
Right. And I mean, with those really high-scoring Rainmaker pushes, I feel like they especially are very hard to mentally come back from. And as I've said many a times, mental is like half, if not more than half of the game. So, you know.
I think after the so close comeback that Ikaryoku brought in the tower control in the last match, Iruka was not gonna have that again. They were solidifying their victory for that match.
Oh my goodness, wait. We already have our match for the next round? That is so crazy. Hoshi, can you do me a favor? Can we look at the lovely bracket thing? really fast. The lovely thing. Yes or no? You can tell me. Yes? No?
Yes, no,
Is
maybe
it not
so.
happening?
But we are going to be seeing C Drive versus Neon Palmtree in our next set. I'm just trying to skim through these names here. Again, I don't really recognize the names to the weapons quite yet, but we're going to be seeing the standings so far, possibly?
Hoshi, it's okay. I don't think it's working. It's whatever it is, it's not clicking. We'll check back in on the other groups later. But right now, we have the lovely gamers C Drive versus Neon Palmtree. I do recognize Neon Palmtree. They have played in a few SOSs, and I love teams that have what's it called? Prefixes? Oh my gosh, I'm mad. Help.
Yes. The tags, the clan
Tags.
tags.
And C Drive's got a pretty cute one. I've never seen that one before, so they're already good in my book.
I love it. That's a I think that's a computer reference right there.
Oh, you know what? I don't have a lot going up there in my head, so that went right past me.
It's okay. I am a IT major. I should know this.
Wait, really?
Yes, I have a major in IT with a specialization in game design.
That is so cool. I've been thinking about trying to take a game design class, but I'm very scared I'm gonna like blow up and die. So I think maybe I shouldn't. I don't know.
I had a good time with it, but that is just me. Like, I don't know what your overall preference is when it comes to like what you're learning and what you do.
I mean, my preference is whatever I can understand, and I'm not very tech savvy. I'm at. It's not pretty. I have to call up JPEG or my lovely boyfriend, who might be watching. Shout out to my boyfriend LD. I have to hit them up if I'm having any computer troubles because I never know what's happening.
That is totally fair. You know, it really depends on what kind of game design class it is, because like you do have the coding side of it, but like a lot of my classes were about just like the graphic design, the art, the modeling and things like that. Like there is the part that you see in the game, the artsy bit that is quite a lot of fun in my opinion.
Honestly, I wonder if I'd be good at that. There are some things that I'm good at, some things I'm not very good at. I'm technically in film. I'm in screenwriting, so I could write the game, technically. I don't know if that's designing the game though.
I will say one of the easiest classes I ever took was Game Design 101. It was like a giant overview of the history of video games, and as a gamer, I
Oh,
love that class.
ah, that sounds really cool. Honestly, I might check it out. I might you've changed me. I might I might have to check it out.
There's definitely like you definitely have a leg up if you're even just as a player. Like you understand some of these things from as a user perspective, and I think that helps quite a bit.
Mhm. Now, enough with my possible classes that I may be taking in the future. I'm at
Back to being
what
a
are we
player.
thinking? Right? What are we what are we thinking about? Clamplets on the lovely whitest of white breads Inkblot Art Academy.
A white canvas, as you will.
Oh, that was pretty good. I don't know, I kind of liked it.
But yes, Clamblitz, it is definitely. Oh, this map is small in general, but with Clamblitz in particular, I would not be surprised if we saw more Kraken. Kraken and Crab, they are the apex of this meta right now, and this is the place to highlight both of them quite well.
No, because you're so right. I forgot. The thing where you Kraken in and then everybody jumps to you with their power clams. Like, sure, there's counterplays and stuff to that, but that would just be so devastating if we were watching that unfold. It's just, it is rough.
It is indeed rough. It's a shame we do not have Splashdown to just come in with the jump. Ah, those were the times. But I will say, the Kraken, it protects by a lot. It protects against a lot of stuff. Chip damage, not necessarily. Like, you get an aim strike on that jump, you're toast. You are going back to spawn quite quickly.
Honestly, yeah, and because there's so many, or since Trip Strike got such a has been getting a lot of love lately, I guess that's what I'll say. I think that could be a good counterplay, especially if you're expecting it. And since a lot of people have been talking about that, I think people half expect it. Wait, Seedra, they have matching banners? It's over.
Ayo.
Are you kidding me? It's so cute. Oh my gosh.
And not a single Kraken either. Not only are we not seeing a Kraken, we're seeing like a Tri-Stringer in the mix.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how this unfolds. A lot of different and interesting weapons.
Indeed, we do have that new nozzle nose come into play. We see the vanilla Squelcher Dualies. We don't see those very often, but nice to see them in action. Ooh, a nice pick by the Tri-Stringer before they go down. There's going to be the T-Tech pushing up into Plat. We don't see, or they do have enough clams for a power clam, so it looks like they are setting up for, if they can get them all to the right member, of course.
I know, it's always so devastating when you're like, I'm in their spawn, and then somebody calls out like, no, but we don't have a power, and then it just all spirals out of control from that. They had so many clams there and only getting to 77. I'd be so sad. I'd be so sad. But there's always the next push, so optimistic.
Indeed, and I was mistaken about the Kraken. We do have a Kraken roller in the mix right here. That's going to be the beacons and the Kraken in play.
Nice. I love me some beacons.
They are quite handy. Ooh, we did see them. Oh, almost the flanking play right there, but now it's just going to be the Zipcaster coming in, trying to wreak some havoc if they manage to survive. We did see that they saw him coming, but they are going to be distracting him as they do get 2 members down, and they have enough clams to get a push going.
Yeah, but then when that strike comes out, I mean, you kind of have to evacuate that plat there. They do get 1 down, so that roller is not going to be in action for a little bit, and no T-Tac either, but they're 2-2, so although C-Drive does have a really big clam advantage here, they're killing it with the clam economy. As I say that, somebody does go down, but I'm going to continue my thought, which is very important. The clam economy is very important in Clam Blitz, because you can be as aggressive as you want, but if you don't have the clams to back up a push, then like, what are you even doing?
Exactly. And I think this is another thing that this map is really, or just Clam Blitz in general, like you see a lot of skirmishing that it's difficult to really get an opening to make a push. Like even when you have 1 or 2 members up, that's still a bit of a defense you gotta push through. Like unless you have a lot of specials online to knock them out of the way, you are not gonna be getting close to that basket without going down.
Yeah, and we see that crab popping out on that left stack there. I think they popped 3 specials out there. That's really, really tough. And that crab, I think,
Oh
threw
wow, that's a wipe.
they threw forward that power clam, and somebody barely got it, question mark? And I'm surprised, they're kind of scoring. Like, they're kind of making a push go right here. Oh, they got the power clam in! Unfortunately, wiping out, but not without doing a lot of damage to the scoreboard first.
That was very perplexing indeed. Like we saw the buoy bomb come out, that user got taken down as they were rushing the rain or the power clam. But I think the brush, their zipcaster ran out, and they just ran in and grabbed it, able to open up the basket. And then we saw the crab user just follow up with the clams, and by then it was just a full wipe. They had free access to that basket.
Right, yeah, and it's gonna be a little bit tough to come back from that, especially because I think, oh,
Here comes the Kraken.
There's literally no way. Did they? Okay, wait. One of them didn't quite get it in. Okay, yeah. I think one of them couldn't quite get the jump in, but that's so crazy that we saw that happen after we have been talking about it before. So if anybody has been confused about what the strategy is there, it's you cracking in, and then your teammates who can hold the power clams and score with the power clams while you're in the kraken. Jump to you, because the jump goes to where the kraken is currently moving, and then you just score into the basket, and the team has little to no counterplay. But we saw them kind of combat that, so good for them. And C Drive does open up that basket again, but it looks like it's going to be a fruitless push, which is a little sad to see.
Yeah, they got it open, not really chewed any much through the penalty. That's just going to be a free power clam for Neon Palmtree. And as we were talking about before, you know, the specials that really do the best are the ones that are able to make space and just push forward. And the Kraken, it does that exceedingly well, and that's why that special or that strategy excels so much in Clamblitz. Because like you got a free beacon right underneath the basket, and like if you're able to get it in, like it is a bit of a suicide jump, but if you can get your clam in, you know, that's points on the board for your team.
Right, and I think something that would be really interesting is two people jumping in and then somebody coming up behind the Kraken to help weed out the people trying to kill the jumps. I think that would make it even more powerful, because then you have to worry about a bunch of other things, you know?
Exactly. And with two members of both teams down, no power clams in play, so it looks like C Drive is going to be taking this first match with a very fantastic push there in the mid-game there. Neon Palmtree was not able to recover from that.
Oh my gosh, are they all gonna wave? Oh my gosh! Stop that! I love this team. This is so
The
so
synergy in it. Oh, amazing.
I love it so much. But really, really good showing there. I feel like both of the teams had a really good idea of how to play Clamblitz, and I think C Drive specifically always had a really good grasp on like having a lot of clams and always being ready to push, which I think is very important in Clamblitz.
And it's all about like getting that opening. Like you gotta be ready anytime. You can't really like just stall out and wait for it to happen. Like they were actively getting the clams and just poking, trying to find that opening, and they eventually made it, taking out the full team just to get all those clams in.
What are we thinking here for splat zones on Sturgeon Shipyard?
That is an excellent question. We did see the Tri-Stringer come out. This tends to be a very favorable map for backline users. I know we've seen quite the forward play. I think if they decided to bring out that Kraken again, beacons are excellent for this particular map. There is a good distance between zone and the map, and just being able to get in quickly can do so much for your team.
Yeah, I haven't really... I mean, obviously my experience with the Kraken is limited. It's only been out for a wee bit. But I haven't had a lot of experience seeing Kraken on Sturgeon specifically, like just Sturgeon in general. So I'm hoping that we will see it here, honestly.
Indeed, like it doesn't quite have the impact that it does on Tower and Clamblitz, but it can still be an excellent tool for just getting into the zone. Once again, it is an invincible special, so it can make an opening where you normally wouldn't be able to get an opening. You can have it just rush in and then follow up with like either enough special or just the rest of your team.
Oh no, you start talking. You keep going.
I'm curious to see if we're gonna see the super jump. Like I was watching some of that in zones, and it is not this like it's not strong damage wise, but it is such a good tool for splat zones because not only does it paint real well, but is it a major distraction that once again it can distract the other team and just create an opening for you to get in.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. I'm uh quite a comp change up here from Neon Palmtree. I love Try on Sturgeon. Um, I was a resident Try main, or Try half main in Splatoon 2, so I was really happy to see this new kit, and I think it's really, really strong, just in general, so I'm happy to see it here.
Yes, the Torpedo and the Wave Breaker, both excellent tools for this map and mode. They can certainly do a lot of damage. And then with the paint on the Junior itself, an excellent just for splat zones. And also we see that the Tri Bucket? The Tri Flosser. There we go. That's what I was like, with that, the Cooler and the Fizzy Bomb, the party pack right there is going to be an excellent pick, but so far just C-Drive locking down that zone. We saw the Hammer try to come in, but they just wiped it out.
Yeah, unfortunately, that L3 does just kind of get snuffed out as soon as they try and come in here, and it looks like the Tetras are trying to get in some picks, but oh, was that the L3 again coming back in? I'm happy to see them back. Welcome back, L3, but maybe they can get a pick. Nope, they didn't get a pick there. And it looks like C-Drive keeps their hold of the. Oh, well, never mind. But they did keep their hold there, which I'm pretty surprised about, given how I guess both of these comps kind of paint the same amount ? But still.
Yeah, they're pretty balanced for like the paint. Like they both have a like they have like the main painter and then several like very weapons for good killing. That is just not a whole lot of range though. Like the Tri-Stinger is like the main ranged weapon on this comp right now.
I was thinking that when I thought about Junior and Tri together, because I use both of those weapons. I'm always like, oh, where's the range? Because that's always what I get asked. Oh, unfortunately, 2 of them are gonna go down here. Oh, 3 of them essentially, and one of them's gonna try and jump out. Good play there. It looks like this is gonna kind of be their opportunity to push up, and with that Kraken already online and ready to be used, I mean, it's gonna be quite an uphill battle here for Neon Palmtree.
And we just see the Hammer make some plays there. It doesn't quite have the same effect that the Kraken can have. So we're going to see it probably because the Kraken's going to be trying to counter whatever it is they're trying to. Oh no, they're going to be coming out just trying to hold down the snipe. They're getting so close to the lead there, and they do take it.
Oof. That Hammer does get a nice trade there, and it looks like these 2 players are really going to try and keep the zone here, try and keep it oh wow, and popping the crab there. Honestly, that was a really, really good play there. That really turned the tides for them, because that killing power, kind of making time for their teammates to paint for them, because that Stringer is just really good at painting. I mean, it's just when the crab is sitting on that block in the zone, I mean, and it's just looking at you, like, what are you supposed to do? Like.
Exactly, and it looked like, first of all, Neon Palmtree, like once they went 2 down with the jumps coming in, that kind of staggered them out of it. So like the last 30 points, especially as you said with that crab on zone, it just was 3 points for C-Drive. But then the Junior staying alive for so long, like they weren't able to really do much about the zone, but they were alive until the end of that match with 4 people trying to shoot them down. That was amazing.
Lord.
Well played.
I would have been sweating bullets, or I always am, but. Lord. Power control. Power control, eel tail.
Once again, back to the Tower of Control. Going to be seeing that Kraken, most likely. We see the 96 used quite a bit in these last 2 matches.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they switched off of Kraken weapon, but I would love to stand corrected, but it's a really solid choice now. It's like whenever you would commentate SOS in the past and you'd be like, both teams are probably going to run crab, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd be pleasantly surprised if you didn't see a splash or like a sloshing machine, you know? Or a T-Tech. So
when Commentators curse works with you.
So I'm trying to curse it. I'm trying to curse it right now if anybody's listening.
Unfortunately, Eeltail is a nice map for Crab and Kraken alike. It is another map where you really gotta make your plays. There is no going around. You just gotta kind of go through the enemy team. So Kraken and Crab and even Inkstrike can just create the opening that you need to push that tower.
Right, and I think a lot of comps sort of rely on those kind of aggressor specials that really encourage your team to push forward with it. So I think we're definitely going to see those kind of specials. I'd be very surprised if we didn't. But I think knowing that and going into the game, knowing that your opponent is going to have one of those kind of specials, it's almost kind of like you have to start thinking in your head, well, what am I going to do when they pop the crab? And I think that's always on everyone's mind. Like, what do I do? Run away? Screaming? Like, yes.
That may be the first instinct, but when they're on the tower with that, it might not be the best move for your team.
Yeah, or the worst is when they get onto like the little bridge and you're trying to contest the tower and then they crab. Like, what do you want me to do? I just start crying. Like,
well, with the Tri-Strike being pretty darn strong. Well, I say that. Do we see any Tri-Strikes? No, there's not. I'm going to just stop right there.
Oh, is that the Luna Blaster?
That is indeed the Luna Blaster. The Neo at that. What's the hit on that? That is the newer one.
Stamp and something. Listen. Didn't they, oh right, that was the L3 player probably, right? They must just, maybe they really like Stamp. And huge kudos to them, because Stamp is always getting the short end of the stick. Just always. So.
Oh, absolutely. Now, we did see the Inkzuka come out from that hero shot right there. Once again, seeing the vanilla splatter shot making some use here. And that is going to be a pretty strong choice now for going up against that Kraken, especially if you're running that Optic Shredder.
Right, very, very true. I'm a lot of special variety on the side of Neon Palmtree. Like I feel like I don't see Zuka as much anymore, and I you know, like you've been saying, don't really see Stamps. So I think that can almost be good for them too, because the team is like, okay, what are we gonna do against Crab? But then they don't play Crab, and then you're like, oh no, I spent my whole day thinking about Crab, and they don't even have one. Or they do. But, yeah.
That is a good point. Like, even if it's like not the strongest special to be had, it can be just like the surprise factor, the wrench in the plan that can just offset the balance just the bit you need. And it looks like it's going to be, well, I say that C Drive is in control of tower, and with a 3 down, they are going to be pushing that tower onto the second checkpoint.
Yeah, really, really nice double there from Slushy on that gal. And they have that Kraken ready. You know they're not going to use that unless they have to. Which, if you're on the side of Neon Palmtree here, you have to be playing around that Kraken just always. Oh, they're dead. My bad. That's crazy.
Ultimate counter to Kraken. Don't let it get Kraken.
Just kill them. Yeah. Really good wipe there. And they really, the name of the game is going to be aggressiveness from them. But I think with their specials, they could definitely make something happen.
Yes, absolutely. And again, they have that Tri-Slosher in play. That's going to be the Tactic Cooler, and they're going to just be able to get so many more aggressive plays off with it, be able to take some chances they normally would not have without it.
Yeah, unfortunately though, as they pop to that cooler, 2 of their teammates go down. It's just something you hate to see. It's like dying before their armor, you know? It's like, you start ripping hairs out.
It looks like C-Drive is still in control of the tower, but Neon Palmtree is still up and fighting. They're gonna, well, they're running away from the Kraken. The Kraken is on the hunt, no longer on the tower.
Honestly, sometimes you get a little bloodthirsty and you just kind of want to go after them. Totally respect it, understandable. Have a nice day.
Completely understandable. But they have to watch out for that Inkzuka. They're gonna just trying to pick off the tri-stringer here, which is in turn just gonna be popping the whale. And honestly, if they didn't Neon Palmtree had the whale, I was curious to see how that would stack up against a Kraken on tower.
Right, I don't even know how that works actually, but it's really unfortunate here because when the splatter shot, I mean, with the hero shot on the side of Neon Palmtree, when they don't get any picks with those Zukas, you have to kind of be sad, you know, like it hurts a little in your heart because, oh gosh, the Luna does go down. But when those aggressor specials aren't really doing what they're supposed to be doing, you kind of stagnate and you start losing your cool.
Indeed, and wow, the pick right there, the splash, the last one remaining, they do get taken down, but I looked like they had a nice couple of picks before they did. But I think to your point, that is true. Like, it is a excellent weapon, or it's an excellent tool to fight the crab, but when it becomes a counterplay, you know, you're not really playing, or your strategy isn't really active. You know, the crab, you pop the crab to make plays happen, but then you pop the Zuka to fight crab. You know, it's like, if you don't fight the crab, then what is the gain you get out of it?
Right, right. And if they become too focused on one thing or another, like countering and not countering, then it's really hard to make a comp of your own here. But we are seeing them make a good push here, so I'm very, very happy for them. But they, unfortunately, when they get on the top right, that splash is just, oh, well, they're dead. But
that was an excellent call right there. They left the tower for just a minute, but they went to help out their slasher there, just take out the mates rather than take it a chance of the 1v1. And they did end up going down in the end, but I think that's just some good team play right there. They were able to keep that pitch going, and they still have 2 members down of C drive. It's just going to be the GG Kraken to stop the game right there.
I know, they just kept twirling, and listen, that's the name of the game. Just keep twirling, and like, what are they supposed to do?
Mm-hmm. Just the little ballerina Kraken on the tower.
I think it's still really cute that they have the matching. Oh, I love it so much. They're really that's my favorite thing about when teams play in SOS, and they really just they have cute stuff like that. Oh my goodness. Oh, is this gone? Technical difficulties arising.
This comes from, I don't know if this comes from just playing the game or just being a long-time fan of the series. The Inklings and knockdowns, they're just so precious. Like, some of the emotes are just like the cutest thing. You can't get enough of it.
I know. I love when they're matching. I can't wait to see a quad wiggle. You know, the one where it's like they're doing.
Oh my goodness.
People were talking about it in SOS General earlier. Listen, they love it.
That is one of the more controversial emotes I've seen in quite a while. I've seen some who hate it, I've seen some who love it. I'm not sure where I stand on it yet.
I don't know. I'm easily pleased. I'm just happy that we have emotes in general. I think that they're very cute. I don't know.
True.
And there's gonna be so many of them. So like, who cares if one of them is a little strange? It's okay.
That is a fair point. Once I had my Inkopolis rep, there is no other emote that was gonna satisfy me. Let me tell you.
The hugging, the splatling it's monumental.
It is the best thing. Like, I forget the rest of the seasons. Thank goodness it's free, because I would not get a single season after, or a single catalog after.
But that was a very close set, and I was very interested in all of the comps that Neon Palmtree pulled out, even if it didn't quite work in their favor for this set. I think they should keep at it. Don't go double splash. Keep using other stuff. I think it's so fun. And it was working. It just didn't quite work out for this set in particular, you know?
Yeah, they've put up a heck of a fight with some pretty unique stuff coming out here. You know, we saw several of the new weapons in play, a lot of the stamp in action, and they almost brought it back. Like, they came to show, like, if you, like, it doesn't really matter what the meta is, as long as you can execute it well. And if you execute something that's off meta well, that can still bring some good plays out.
Yeah. I think that's very, very important too, especially if you're building a sort of comp that you want to play a lot. It's important to like what you're playing. And that's always the vibe that you get from people that play more off-meta weapons. Like, I use Junior, which I don't know if Junior's off-meta, but I mean, I don't see it a whole lot like you used to, you know, in Splatoon 2, for example, but I like Junior. So it's like, you play what you like, you know?
You'll always see me hugging the splatling, I'll tell you that right now.
Yes.
But anyway, that was a fantastic set, and it looks like we have our next one ready to go.
Never getting a
no
break.
No stopping today.
No. It's Sanctuary versus Expresso. Two teams that I definitely recognize. Expresso, they must be playing every single SOS. Like they're out here grinding, and I love and appreciate them. I love teams that grow or like to show how far they've come through SOS, like use SOS as an outlet for showing off themselves.
Mm-hmm. And when we see them on a regular basis, you know, that creates conversation in and of its own. You know, like, you're here, we know you, we can talk about you more.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm very excited for the day they win Great White.
Yes. That is always a day to be looking forward to.
That's kind of something that I always hope for with a lot of SOS regulars. Like back when Campfire was playing a lot, I'd always see them like on the seeding sheet and stuff, and I'd be very excited. You know, like teams like Summit and stuff, and you know, of course, those teams aren't really together anymore. But the teams that formed from the players of those teams, I love seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
Tuki, I love Tuki or Tuki 2. I really love. It's like a little what's it called? Like Lazy Susan? Is that like the table that like spins and it's like big?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And I love just seeing like the teams, and I'm like, oh, I know that one. I know that player. Oh, I know that one. So, and Expresso is one of those. So I really like them.
A fantastic buffet of teams.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Actually, fun fact, buffets scare me a little bit. You don't know why?
Why is that?
Because if I don't eat all the food, that's like rude. But you see, I don't have a very big appetite. My friends and family at home, no. I don't be eating a lot. I'm just not built like that.
I completely understand you. It's just like, you can get buffets, you can get a lot of food for the value, but like only if you can eat it. And I cannot eat it.
I can't do it. And then
Like,
I feel like
a-
awkward. Yeah.
I need a to-go bag, please.
Yeah. And then it's like you can't take that to go. And then I start crying. And then I get kicked out of Golden Corral, and then it's embarrassing, you know? It's like it's not fun for anyone involved.
You got to do the I touched it, it's mine now trick, you know. It's like the finger. This one's mine. This one's mine.
Listen. Have you ever been to Golden Corral?
I think once in living memory.
They had a soft serve machine last time I was there. I just kept refilling my soft serve. I don't know, I was younger, so maybe I could get away with it, but I think now they'd probably kick me out and like shove me out on the streets. I don't know.
Okay, that is the one upside to a buffet like that. Like just the soft serve machine. Like I can only have so much of the real food, but give me just let me put my head under there. That would work.
just get it straight from the machine.
Like let me save you a dish and just get it straight. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna like get it in my hand, like have the machine put it in my hand, and then like put it in my pocket for later. My soup.
Now, if you wanted to be a sanitary, you could get a straw or something, you know, a really big straw or a funnel. That would work.
Oh my goodness. I mean, listen. Have you ever been to Trader Joe's?
I don't think I have.
Oh my goodness! Everyone, kill! I'm at.
What?
Listen, you have to go to Trader Joe's. A few weekends ago, I went home from school, and my mom was like, "Your sister Emily." Shout out to my sister Emily. Your sister Emily, she got this like ice cream sorbet thing, and it was like chocolate and strawberry. You want some? And I was like, hee, maybe. It went hard. Best thing ever. Trader Joe's, they slap everything. Not literally. Like, everything slaps. Everything is amazing. No matter what you get there. They should make a Trader Joe's buffet. Oh my god.
Hey, yo.
I'm getting in contact with corporate as we speak. Because I could talk about food forever, but I think I'm gonna get a message from Hoenn Hero to tell me to stop because it's not related to SOS.
We are well, it is Makomar, so we're not that too far off
No.
track.
No, you're so right. I know you always have my back, IMAD. I know.
Heck yeah. We're back to the white bread on the Makomar, but now it is gonna be the Rainmaker. We're gonna be getting that bread a little bit soggy here.
Listen, I kind of like soggy bread. Sometimes I'll be a Wawa. Shout out to Wawa. It's not a person, sorry. Shout out to Wawa. You'll get like a hoagie, or some people say like a sub or like a sandwich. And I'll like toast it, but then I get too many toppings, and it's the bread's like a little weird, like a little wet, but like I'll still eat it, but like don't tell anyone.
There is a certain level of moistness that comes from the sandwich itself that does make it really good. Like
Listen, I love sauces.
Oh heck yeah!
Like chipotle, what's it called? The mayo something? I don't know. Whatever it is, I eat that.
If I don't need 5 yakins after I eat a sandwich, it's not a good sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. And I did recently, if my mom is watching this, I did accidentally run out of napkins, so I'll have to get some when I come home this weekend. So I need to get some of those. But you're absolutely right. Like, I need everything. It needs to be everywhere. But like not everywhere, but like everywhere. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so you mentioned the chipotle mayo. Like, what is your? We're getting a little bit off topic here, but what is your favorite like sandwich sauces? You know, like what is your go-to?
Garlic aioli.
I can get behind that. Yes.
Yeah. What about you? What kind of guy are you?
See, I would never say no to buffalo sauce. You know, like unless it's like roast beef or something, I always usually go for the buffalo.
No, that's so valid, and I know I'm gonna hurt my friends and family at home. Shout out to my friends and family at home. I don't really like buffalo sauce. Like anything, like buffalo wings, nothing. I can hear screaming coming from my friends and family at home.
Is it specifically the buffalo sauce, or just like the spicy of the sauce?
The crazy thing is that I have a really good spice tolerance. Like I get like 800 million jalapenos on everything I eat. I'd be what's it called? I eat a lot of spicy things. We'll just say that.
Okay. But no, that is totally valid. You know, like the it's got a very unique flavor. Like that, I like the buffalo flavor. You know, like it's not just like if you want spice, you get some hot sauce, you get some red pepper flakes. You know, you get some jalapenos. Those work totally fine. But like buffalo has a really flavor that I enjoy, and like that's why like I'm on my sandwich, even if it's not necessarily a spicy buffalo. You know, so that's totally valid if it's not the flavor of choice.
I think I don't like the flavor of it. I'm gonna start getting rocks through my windows, but like nobody. Like, don't be mad at me. I don't know what's wrong with that. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think it's me.
Well, there are plenty of good alternatives to buffalo sauce. You know, it's not the end-all be-all of sauces. Let's see. There's a really good one I had the other day. Oh, so like it's just like on the side, just like when you have the nacho sandwiches, the nacho burgers, like you have all like your nacho, your jalapenos, your queso sauce, and things like that. Just put that on a sandwich. You know, that is another go-to of mine.
No, I listen. I'm a very strange being. My sister and I. Shout out to my sister Emily at home. We love cheese. We're cheese lovers. Sometimes you'll catch me and her at the same time, like little rats in the night, eating cheese drawer. Because we have a cheese drawer in my fridge at home. That's how much we like cheese.
As you do.
And we just eat cheese, like just the shredded cheese, you know, like in like the little bags. Just start eating it. And I used to. Sorry if my mom is watching at home. Shout out to my mom at home. Sorry. I used to eat frosting, like by the spoonful. I used to run downstairs in the middle of the night and just start pounding it back, just eating it. And then my mom would be like, "What happened to all the frosting?" And I'd be like, I don't know." I'd be like,
It's gone now.
Sure. It's gone. She probably knew though, because moms know everything. Like, like, I'm actually insane. I think a little bit. I don't know whose genes gave that to me, that I just eat strange things. But do you have any habits like that, iMad? Do you eat frosting by the pound? Yes or no?
That is a good question, because I really do not like a lot of the icing that you get on a lot of store-bought cakes. You know, like I like frosting if it's like more creamy. You know, like not just straight sugar. It's not fluff. It's actual, like, I guess when we make it at home, we usually have like a cream cheese base, and so that tends to make it a little bit thicker, a little bit creamier, and it's not just like, I don't know, whatever you get in the tubes at the store, you know? So like, yes, I could definitely eat that by the pound, but like I usually just leave the icing off to the side whenever it's like a store-bought Costco Walmart cake, you know?
Oh my goodness. Wait, that's so sad, actually.
Like, I really do love the middle filling though. Like that is my jam right there. Now I honestly enjoy so many things. Like there's not many foods that I don't like, so I'm always down to try new things, even if it is a bit strange.
Listen, I'm all for strange. I'm a big pickle enjoyer, which apparently pickles are controversial. Apparently, I don't like sweet pickles though. Do you like sweet pickles? How do you feel about them? You hate them?
Did you say sea pickles?
No. Okay. Sweet pickles.
Sweet pickles. Oh. See, that is. It depends. I don't like squishy pickles. They need to be crisp and fresh. You know.
Oh.
Like, I otherwise, yes, I say pickles are my jam, but like I don't like mushy pickles. I like nice, cold, and crunchy pickles. You know.
Yes. I've never had mushy pickles. I guess they are mushy on like sandwiches and stuff, no?
Yeah, it's when you cook them on the sandwich with it, you know, that's when they get nice. Like at McDonald's, for example, they have really, really mushy pickles.
Wow. I'm learning things. Learning crazy things. Our streamer's currently eating a McDouble.
As you do, gotta keep the energy going.
Honestly, yeah, I had pasta earlier. I have my glass of lemonade. I haven't drinking from it because we've been talking this whole time, which I'm sure the friends and family at home, shout out to my friends and family at home, must be loving this, but I am parched.
It's good to stay hydrated, keep the vocal cords nice and lubricated.
Okay.
Even as I said it, that sounded very odd coming out.
That's okay. That's okay. We're gonna continue. I want to talk about next on my agenda. Oh, I'm gonna burp. Anyways, favorite fast food place. Go.
Oh, that's tough. Like I don't usually eat fast food. Oh, this is tough.
Well, this is embarrassing.
Maybe Taco Bell. Yeah, that is the one place I actually go out of my way to eat as far as fast food.
Oh my goodness, Hoshi just gave the answer of all time. Our lovely streamer. Shout out. Wendy's. He likes Wendy's.
That is a nice answer.
I also love Wendy's. I have the Frosty keychain where you get a free little baby Frosty when you show it to them.
Hey yo.
Where
can I get one of those? I need free Frosties.
You asked them. Well, actually no, I'm so sorry. They're not selling them anymore. It was the beginning of the year.
Dang.
Are you going to Riptide?
I absolutely am going to Riptide.
Okay. Is there a Wendy's near Riptide? I might go to Riptide. I might try. I'm trying to see. We can go to Wendy's then, and I can show you my little guy.
I would be so down for that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing. Oh man, okay, so I think a close second would have to be Arby's, because they literally have everything you could want as far as fast food. They have wings now. They have wings of all things. Yes, that is their newest thing they've been in advertising. They say they have the meats. They have the meats. They have chicken wings. They have the Greek gyros. They have they're bringing back some like the crinkle cut fries too. Like they have everything.
What? Listen, I've only had Arby's a few times. I think I used to get the little slider little guys. Are they still a thing?
I'm pretty sure they're still a thing.
That's cray.
Now, as I know, we've been on the largest tangent of all times, but just a quick update to our viewers. We did miss out on the Rainmaker mock mart, it seems like. So we will be going to Clamplet Scorch, I believe. I don't know that for certain yet, but it sounds like we did miss that. Yes, we are going to Clamps on Scorch. And I'm not quite sure who took the first match, but we are going to be getting into it. All right, let's see what we got for us.
Yes, I believe it was Expresso, who won that first game there, so kudos to them. Unfortunately, we were not in the room for it, but we are here now, so that's all that matters.
We were spurring them on with our discussion of sandwiches and fast food.
Yes. Expresso here in the lovely pinkish color, and Sanctuary here in the lovely turquoise-ish color. I always trip myself up trying to understand how to describe the colors, but anyways.
I am with you there, and that's going to be 2 down for Sanctuary, and it is Clan Blitz. Once again, it is one of those modes like it's hard to get a push going if you don't have a complete wipe, you know. Unless you have, say, we saw the Buoy Bomb come out. I don't see a Kraken in play, but there are several of the Tri-Strikes available. So that unless we can get like a Buoy Bomb or a Tri-Strike going, it's going to be tough to kind of work your way up, especially for Scorch Gorge.
Right, yeah, and a very interesting comp on Expresso here. I guess maybe this could be the norm for them. For some reason, it just comes off very interesting to me, though. You know, the tri-stringer and then the brush. I feel like we don't see a lot of brush as much as we should, you know? So, happy to see these more, I don't know, different weapons, not shooters.
That is true, and I remember a time when Ink Brush was the go-to weapon for Clampless. It is nice to be seeing its return.
Yes.
Some a little bit more of the norm nowadays, the Crab Tank in action, and that's going to be 2 whole power plants for the Side Sanctuary online. With a bit of a failed push, it seems like they did lose that second power plant, and while they do have a splash, trying to push up, they are going to be the last one standing.
Right, and they get that really good double there, that splash, and it's looking to be a really good push, but they're the only one with clams, actually. That shot does get some more, but that really does go to show that it's really important to keep up with having clams on your person or your octo/squid, because if you don't, I mean, like, you can't just brute force anything. You can't get points on the board, you know.
Clamblitz is the name of the game. If you don't have the clams, you don't have the game. And that's going to be 2 down for Expresso, and it looks like a first push of the match already halfway through with only the splash of Expresso up.
Yeah, and that Booyah Bomb's coming out. Unfortunately, it doesn't really meet anybody there on that top right, but they probably just wanted to keep them out of there because that is such a good position to defend from. And as we see, 2 of them are at that top right now. They're kind of struggling to get more clams in at this point. Hayuster opting to drop down here and try and get that splash. They do trade, which is good, but they're still getting some more clams in.
They're bringing 26. That is a fantastic first push, and they do lose, you know, half their team in the process. But you know, when you get like that many points on the board, it's kind of worth it. And with the only 2 minutes remaining, with as much as we've seen so far, that might just do it for them.
Yeah, and I mean, they've still got the most clams on their person right now, Sanctuary, that is. And I think that is very intimidating when you know that your opponents are kind of always ready to make a push.
Yes, absolutely. I think this is the most we've seen of. Well, I say that the Slosher Machine does go down. Expresso, we did see a couple of specials coming out the way. The Killer Whale, I think there's a Breathe Bomb at one point. The Brush is just trying to keep control of this power clan, but they are getting... Well, they're doing a fantastic job of whatever they're doing. That's going to be just a splash of Sanctuary up, and now they have a chance to really begin moving in.
Yeah, again though, they only have that power clam. I want to see some more clams here, gamers. Come on now, Clam Blitz. It's called Clam Blitz.
They're certainly going to need a lot more follow-up up to that power clam to really take the lead back. And they're not even going to have control of that power clam no more. That is going to be a wipeout on Expresso right there.
Yeah, I mean, not to be a broken record here, but when your opponent sees that you don't have any clams, they kind of almost take that as an in to really push you and get you out of mid, because you really don't have the advantage if you don't have the clam advantage. Like,
exactly. I'm not. Force Gorge in particular is quite the large map. It is with that is going to be notorious for just trying to get the clans. You know, the Sanctuary, they certainly did an excellent job of keeping control of the clans for when they needed them. But Expresso is not a lack right there. Their saving grace right now is the double peak that they had from Sanctuary's pushes.
oh, right. And it's a really tough push to kind of come back from here, and they still really don't have the clams to make a push happen here. I mean, I guess if they get those picks and they really stall out that basket, but it's not looking super good here for Express. Oh, and the power clam does go down to that crab. I mean, it's looking pretty bleak, yeah.
Yes, that's going to be the end of the overtime right there. Sanctuary doing a well, it was pretty stalled out for the first half, but Sanctuary just needed the one push to get the ball rolling and keep it there. They didn't let Expresso get any sort of foothold after that.
Oh my goodness. I love the peace sign emote. I just want to tell everyone. It's my favorite. It's really cute. I'm probably gonna end up using that, honestly.
Love to see it. We are currently tied up 1-1, going to our last match of Zones on Wahoo. Another one of those maps that got some, I'm gonna say, tweaks. Changes might be pushing it just a bit. We got some tweaks to the map.
And by tweaks, you mean pull.
We got pull.
Pull. In case anybody is unaware, with the recent season, there came a lovely update, and they added a pole in the middle of the zone on Wahoo World. You can see in the preview there, that little area in the middle, that big circle. There's just a pole in the middle. You might be saying to yourself, Grace, why? I don't know.
That is a question we have been asking for as long as that pole has been in the game.
Yeah, I don't... People think it might be to make it so that you can't paint the zone, like, as easy or something like that. Like, you have to, like, move around the zone better to, like, be able to paint the whole thing. You can't just paint it while you're stationary, but, like...
Imagine if we still had the bomb rush. That would get so... just... The suction bomb rush in particular would be almost... what's the word? Just impossible to paint the zone with that pole in the middle. It just all get stuck to the pole.
Oh my lord, you're so right, yeah.
So just little things like that, like it's just an obstacle that there is less space for such projectiles to paint the zone, and less room for the paint to paint the zone.
I think they're busting out the same comps here, which is, you know, consistent, if not anything else, which I can very much appreciate.
Yes, indeed. I don't see any changes here. Still going to be rocking the splash on both sides, but we do see... Actually, that's going to be double tri-strike for the side-eye Sanctuary here, which is going to be pretty fantastic for zones. Unfortunately, well, tri-strike is not affected by pole whatsoever. It's east pole, and it just paints around pole.
Right. Ooh, getting that pick there. Devastating. That crab does come out on their little ledge right there, and I mean, if they just keep firing at them, they definitely could have gotten that stringer there, but they already have control here. They have both on their plat and on that left side, which I think is a really strong, like, opening just for the first minute or so of this match.
Wahoo shares a lot of similarities to Sturgeon that we saw earlier today. It's because the zone is pretty much the high ground of the map. The crab can do so much for the defending team because it can just put on a lot of pressure of the team trying to get back into zone because they necessarily can't get into zone with that crab on there.
Right. I mean, it's very, very hard to contest it there. Unfortunately, those strikes not really helping them to try and cap it there. Oh, how the turntables have turntabled. It looks like Expresso here is going to be in control of those areas that SynRGs was once in control of, popping that crab to keep them at bay, sort of here, from that top right area. And the strike is going to come out, waiting for that crab to finish so that they can push in with it, presumably, and that was very successful.
Expresso brought it down to 22, taking the lead with them, but they lost 3 of their members in the process, essentially giving SynRGs the zone completely, and now SynRGs back in where they started and just trying to contest Expresso's line of turf. But we do seem to have lost one of the members of SynRGs.
Oh.
This is quite unfortunate. Like, they are in the dominant position right now. If they're able to maintain it, they might be able to hold on, but with only this flash remaining, that's going to put them at a huge disadvantage here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, they did. This wouldn't have been a replay regardless, but they are playing it out anyways, so they could make something happen here. Listen, I've lost 4v3 before. People can always make it happen. Unfortunately, going down there after that strike, but the zone might cap in their favor. Honestly, we know how weird Wahoo can be. Oof, no though.
Yes, like it is. They are at the disadvantage, but that doesn't necessarily mean they are out of the game completely. Like, you know, we do have the flashes on, or the T-Tech is trying to make some plays here with that Ink Strike. They are still alive, and they have their teammates coming in. They just have to get to the zone before it takes down completely.
Oh, it's really, really close here. They might be able to outpaint them, but it's just with that player disadvantage. I mean, it's nearly impossible. But they put up one heck of a fight. I mean, they are playing like they still had 4 players, which is very honorable. You know, like kudos to them.
Yes, absolutely. Not going down, not throwing in a towel until the game is completely over.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate.
That is going to be Expresso. They are going to be taking the 2-1 victory of this set, but still, once again, every single match matters. SynRGs still was able to get one out of that set, and that might help them along later on.
As we have said many a time, the games matter. All of them. They all matter. I'm telling ya. So, and that Clans game was really, really good in their favor. So I think SynRGs, they have a very, they had a very good fighting chance in this set. So I think they shouldn't be leaving this with their heads hung low. They should be like proud of themselves because they did very good.
Yeah, it's not at all. They played their best and they played extremely well to boot. So yeah, they have nothing to be ashamed of here.
Heck yeah. Well, Matt, I have a request.
Yes.
And I also have a question for our lovely streamer Toshi. Are we able to give a little wonderful LAN happening in New York City a shout out tonight?
I think that would be a marvelous idea.
Oh my goodness, look at how, first of all, look at how absolutely beautiful this banner is right here. Shout out to the Big Dapple 2. I actually attended the first Big Dapple, but Splatoon is coming to New York City on April 1st, and you know, that is April Fool's Day, but do not be fooled. Metro Inc. presents the Big Dapple 2, a Splatoon local event at the Brickland Esports Lounge in Bushwick. Come through for a 16-team tournament and show off your skills in front of a live crowd. But anyone not competing can play on the 8 free PlayStations that they're going to have at the venue. You can grab the mic on a live stream couchcast. That is very, very cute. What a cute idea. There will also be merch tables, raffle prizes, great food, and more. And I can attest to many of these things because as I said, I did attend the first Big Dapple with Drexel Esports. So, for more
If you're able to
info,
make it out, highly support that. Definitely check it
Yes.
out if you're able to. But if not, where can all the folks at home tune in? Is there going to be live streams at all of this?
for sure. I mean, if you want any more like information in general, or if you just want to register, you can check out their StartGG page, which I have maybe put into the Twitch chat.
Let's go. Yes, definitely check it out. It's going to be a fantastic time.
Yes. I would definitely recommend always support your locals. Always. If you can go, do go. It's a lot of fun to meet people that you've been talking to or kind of seeing online for a long time. That's how it was for me.
Absolutely.
Have you
Now-
ever been to... You've been to LANs before, right?
I have not. Riptide will actually be my first.
Oh my goodness, this was my first.
Let's go.
A Big Dapple 1. So that is very crazy. Hopefully I can see you at Riptide, but if not,
I will
I
be
can
hard
still
to
see you
miss,
right
not
now.
gonna lie.
Really? Or what are you gonna...
Well,
What are you gonna, like,
I
wear?
am a very I like to consider myself a connoisseur of the bucket hat, so that will be something easy to look out for. But I am also like 6'5", so
Oh my
I'll stand
gosh!
out. Yeah,
6'5".
it is hard for me to hide in the crowd. I will tell you.
Oh my goodness! What, did you like drink a lot of milk as a kid?
It's the coffee, I tell you. They've been
Coffee?
lying to you. It does not stunt your growth; it accelerates it.
Wow, rapid acceleration. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Lord. I will keep my eyes peeled, but I don't think I'll have to. Lord.
That is going to be for later on. In the meantime, that is going to be the end of our pools. We will be going to a short break as the Great White brackets and the Top Cut brackets are set up. In the meantime, stay tuned, chill out, use the restroom, get some water, stay hydrated, and we'll be right back. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Swim or Sink 101. We are now in the Great White Brackets. Once again, it is I, Mad Gamer II, and once again joined by Grace.
Oh my goodness, it's me, Grace. Again.
We are back with our Great Whites, and we have our first match. It's going to be... Oh, here's another tongue twister. Tatsugayri versus Ransom.
Wonderful, wonderful. And before... Oh, I lied. I'm very, very excited. I think the name Tatsugayri is very nice. I love that little guy, that little weird little Pokemon. And then Ransom, that is very scary. I don't know what their team picture is. I'm a little scared.
Yeah, that is quite intimidating. They're trying to go for the mind games in this set here.
And it's working. I mean, I'm already scared.
We're not even playing and we're scared.
So real.
I'm sure that Tatsugayri has a lot more nerves of steel than we do. They are not phased by it whatsoever.
Listen, with names like Baja Blast, Hog Rider, and Wild Mike, I'm sure they have nerves of steel.
Ooh, and we're gonna be seeing the Nautilus and the Bloblobber in play here.
What?
We're on Rainmaker for this? Interesting.
Listen. No, it's
it's
tower control. I'm mad.
I just saw the objective in the middle and I knew it wasn't zones.
Nice, good pick. Also the knot, I really have a nice love for knot, so I'm happy to see that also being pulled out here. A really strong opening, it looks like. I mean, they had two down at one point that trying to get onto that tent to get some leverage from the high ground, but it doesn't really work out for them, it looks like. They're tearing through these checkpoints here. They just made it through that first one, and already they have two down again.
Yeah, it looks like Ransom did an excellent job at it. Or no, I'm sorry, Tatsugayri. They pulled a lot of the defense from Ransom over into the left side, which allowed him to get the checkpoint. And now with the wipeout, that's going to allow them to just shoot through that second checkpoint like nobody's business. They're getting so close to that knockout. Ransom is going to have to, yeah, they're going to take 3 members down with just the bucket remaining.
Oh! And that bucket, that sloshing machine there does get 2! That's awesome! They popped that Booyah Bomb. Really trying to keep this push going here. They let their friends jump back into them here. They might be able to knock out this checkpoint if they just stay it.
It is a dance on tower, but the Nautilus is going to be backing up rather wisely as there's the full force of Ransom coming at them. That's going to allow them to just get a couple of jumps from their teammates and just keep control of mid. Not allow Ransom to really swing it back completely.
Yeah, that not Hag Rider. Again, getting the double there. Really, really good aggression coming out from Tatsugayri. I mean, I'm like whipping back and forth. Like there's so much stuff happening, and that's like my favorite way to observe Splatoon. So I'm happy.
I am with you there, and just this Nautilus and the rest of the team, they're putting on so much pressure on Ransom right now. They are not letting them get an inch back. They are already have the tower so deep into their base. They're trying to get through that 3rd checkpoint.
Yeah, and I think they might be able to do it this time. I say that, and everybody's now dead, so I will never say anything ever again.
Commentator's curse strikes again. Ransom still has a good chance at this. Like 12 points is not an easy feat to come back from, but the fact that they still have to get through that 3rd checkpoint means they have a little bit of cushion left for those last 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's not quite over yet. It's not over till it's over, or so the legend goes, but their aggression is just non-stop. I feel like every time I look at the board, somebody's 2 down. Like, Ransom it's going to be quite an uphill battle, I don't know. And flanks! They just they flanked them, traded with the blob. Already back because of that soda. Soda!
Tactical coming to play here, and with the 3 members of Tatsugayri down, that's going to give Ransom just the opening they need, and a nice play by the Stamper, almost popping out the Zip Caster, but that's going to put Ransom on their 1st checkpoint of the match.
Yeah, and I think because of that wall here. Oh, nope, yeah, they just popped the Kraken. Yeah, they'll get that checkpoint. Oh, they did just fall. Oh, okay, you know, listen. I don't know why they really like commentator cursing me this game. They just hopped right off that tower.
Actively listening in and doing exactly what we were saying they're gonna do. Totally. Well, that's gonna be 2 members of both sides down, kind of evening out with it. The aggression is still on. Like they are poking the bear and bringing him down too. Like they are not letting up at all.
Yeah, and then that crab comes out in mid, and I mean, the Stamper does go down, and it looks like they're gonna have to back up here if they have any hope of staying alive, honestly.
I do find it interesting. The 2 like really off-net effects here, the Nautilus and the Blob, both running the rain special, the Ink Cloud special.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if maybe there's something I don't know about Inkstorm on this map.
Considering how longular it is, it does have quite a bit of staying power, especially when that right side, because the tower has to move forward for a good stretch, so you really want to keep the opponents out of that. It is not really like the canopies really are the best defense against that because they can't damage opponents underneath the canopy.
Yeah, I mean, fair point. Unfortunately, though, Ransom is trying to do what Tatsugayri did to them towards the beginning of this match, and they're trying to get control of that top right area, but they kind of get snuffed out, which is unfortunate. And I mean, knowing Tatsugayri, the shorter bit of time that we've kind of known them so far this round, they're not going to let up with that aggression. That Kraken's barreling towards the tower. They're trying to turn it into their favor to try and keep the overtime going, and they are successful, but that GG Booyah Bomb comes out, and I mean, that's just game.
Indeed, such a, like, Ransom, they came back with quite the push right there, but just the overall match is way in Tatsugayri's favor. They were, again, the aggression, they stormed the castle and they kept on pushing up against it. It took a complete wipeout for them to just even abandon that push.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love to see. I would. It's unfortunate that they took away the feature where the spectator can see what the KDAs and stuff was
Mm-hmm.
after the match, because I would have loved to see how many kills Tatsugayri racked up that match, because it felt like a lot.
They certainly did. Like the Nautilus in particular, like we saw a lot of action from them. They were
Yeah.
camping that ledge quite well, and they were one of the last remaining members when the rest of their team went down, and still they put up a heck of a fight. The sloshing machine too.
Right, yeah. I mean, it was a very like aggressive play style that they kind of had all around Tatsugayri, that is. But we did see Ransom make a bit of a comeback there. So it just goes to
Mm-hmm.
show that even if you're really, really aggressive, it's not over till it's over, and you really got a KO to win.
Indeed. Oh, speaking of comebacks, oh man, Rainmaker or Sturgeon, this will ever be cemented in my mind from SOS 99, the comeback of the century, when the Rainmaker the Rainmaker carrier got taken down behind lines in the last 10 seconds, and just the team was able to pop it and bring it back in the last bit of overtime. So if this is
Insane.
definitely a mode for comebacks right here.
Definitely. And I think if we see Ransom kind of come back here and take the match back from Tatsugayri, I think Tatsugayri's aggression is really going to serve them well, in Rainmaker in particular, because aggression's like the name of the game.
Yeah,
Like if
Sturgeon.
they, yeah.
I was gonna say, Sturgeon is, well, now that we have the Rainmaker checkpoint, as you would, Rainmaker or Sturgeon, you have to really like take control of certain spots in order to like just make your way forward, like a complete wipeout. It's just sprint to the finish line. But when there's still members up, you kind of have just like step-by-step control of key areas, and I think that is true of Tower Control and Rainmaker as well. It's not a full-on dash if there's still members trying to defend.
Right, and I think this is one of the instances where I don't bat an eye when I see a backline come out on Sturgeon Rainmaker, because I feel like I just kind of go, yeah, understandable.
Mm-hmm.
No backline though. Or I don't know, people consider Blob a backline, but you catch my drift.
I think, yeah, both Nautilus and Blob, they're like midline to pseudo backline. They can definitely fill the role if need be, because they are the longer range weapons on this map, so they can definitely fill the position if need be. But it's gonna be Ransom taking the first Rainmaker and just running it right to them. That's gonna be their points on the board.
I really like the aggression coming out right away there. Although barreling into two of their teammates is maybe not the best play there. I think what that kind of sets up our expectations is that they're not going to really take any survivors if they're pushing, but unfortunately Tatsugayri just kind of lays it back on them and says, well, we're also not going to be taking any survivors. They trip strike them. They counter with that Ink Storm there, which is good, but I mean, they already go one down with that try. The splash also going down, that jump coming. Oh no.
Well.
Oh. It's always so unfortunate when we catch that on stream, Nobody wants to be caught like that.
I'd say that was a lucky save for whoever was jumping in, because that would have been back to spawn for them, but now they had a free jump into mid, and they're set up quite comfortably in the middle now.
Yeah, and I mean, we see that Tri-Slosher up there on that spinner area that is just so dominant. That cooler up there, that was funny. It started like falling over a little bit. Anywho, barreling towards that midway checkpoint. Not so much the left side, because that can be a little tricky to push, definitely. But the Rainmaker's kind of alone here. I mean, that strike's really going to alienate them from the rest of their team, and it looks like that Crab is really taking advantage of that.
Also, do we see the counter Zipcaster? Well, potentially counter Zipcaster. They're all over the place just trying to find a pick, and they are going to get punished at their return point. Tatsugayri just not letting them take any space whatsoever.
Right, and I think that comes a lot with playing aggressively, is the willingness to kind of just get in their face and not let them take any space.
That's going to be another 2 down. The Stamper going down with the try. It seems like Ransom really needs a good regroup at this point. They're kind of staggered. The Stamper's already back from spawn, and they do get a nice pick, but then they're immediately taken down by the splash. And yeah, it is just like haphazard right now.
Right, and the skirmishy kind of. Oh, what? Was that a double? Yeah, that was a double. That was awesome. I mean, hopefully they can extend their lead a little bit here. That trip strike kind of helping to get them some space, but with that try in front of them, I mean, I wouldn't want to push either. Oh, they just killed them. My bad. Just completely obliterates that try right there. Swimming up, that wall does stop them. Sneaky walls right there. But it's looking pretty good here for Tatsugayri. Even though the Rainmaker does go down, they can probably re-pop here.
Yeah, 15 is nothing to sneeze at. That's going to certainly put them in a really solid place for the rest of this match. But they do go the 3 down. So I think Ransom's going to have a chance to reset it and just be able to try to get back into mid. But they're certainly have to pull together to bring this back. Like they've been putting on a little bit more aggression this match. But again, it just seems a little bit more haphazard. There hasn't been any like uniform play as of yet.
Yeah, that's a really good way of saying it, I think. That's like a good eye there, honestly, that it feels a little uncoordinated, but it's working a little bit in some situations. So I think if they can like get a little tighter with it, they can make a comeback.
Yeah, they're certainly matching Tatsugayri's aggression now. I think that they were a little bit off foot from the last match, so now they're trying to return it, and they can certainly bring this back. But they are once again 2 members down, and Tatsugayri is they are holding a good control of mid.
Oof, many oofs. I mean, it's a complete bloodbath in mid here. I feel like nobody's picked up the Rainmaker for a long time now, and I mean, if you're Tatsugayri, why would you? I mean, I think aggression is the best defense or whatever that saying, however the saying goes, but I mean, why even bother? They pretty much have them locked out of wherever areas they would try and push in from. I mean, it's not looking great here.
Yes, they're certainly pushed up pretty far, and they did it. They made sure to paint everything behind them, so like it wasn't they're watching for any sort of potential flank, but they're just gonna keep Ransom at bay, not them get anywhere near that Rainmaker.
Yeah, I mean, it's really unfortunate. If that Rainmaker's just sitting in mid and the team with that lead just keeps it there, I mean, you don't really have much of a choice than to walk into them.
And with the seconds of the clock ticking down, there's not a whole lot of time left to really do much with that.
Yeah, tough. But they put up a really good fight, and I think they really evolved and were reacting to how Tatsugayri was playing there, which I think is really important in Splatoon, especially like competitive, is changing up your playstyle depending on what's gonna work against a specific team.
Exactly. You know, that is the mark of like a really good team, is being able to adapt to what it's been before. Like there are some really good there are weapons that work, there are specials that work, there are plays that work, but you can't be completely set in one particular strategy. You got to be ready for whatever the other team is throwing at you and be able to come back and seize the initiative.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately though, we're not going to be seeing any more of Ransom in the Great White Bracket. It is single elim, and we will not be seeing them anymore. We will be seeing more of Tatsugayri though. Wonderful name, by the way. Wonderful icon as well. So, oh my. Sorry, I just read that next team name. But we will not be here for this next round, I'm mad. They're executing us. They're setting us away. We talked about food for too long.
They're pulling the lever on our seats. We are getting dropped. We have a new set of commentators coming in to take our spot. But before we do sign off, Grace, where can the good people find you?
Oh my goodness, well, you can just find me in Help Desk next week, probably. And that will maybe be less fun than tonight. But you can also find me on Twitter at Tubnug, and you can find me around Drexel Esports. Check out Drexel Esports. I am a happy student of Drexel University, so shout out to them. What about you, Imad? Where can the people find you?
You can find me on the usual places, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at IMadGamerII. absolutely neck deep in the Splatoon content right now. Absolutely loving it. I am trying to get back into competitive. Just a slow process right now, but I am enjoying every step of the way. Huge shout out
Wow.
to our streamer and huge shout out to Grace, our TO.
Oh my
Much
goodness.
appreciate for the work you guys do.
What? Oh my goodness. I wasn't expecting to be complimented today. Thank you for all the work that you do. You're such a consistent commentator for us. I mean, you're like one of our backbones.
As I've said, I've been here since 35. It is now my second home.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
Alright, y'all, that's going to do it for us once again. Thank you all for tuning in. Stick around. We got the rest of Great White for your enjoyment. And give a warm welcome to our next set of commentators.
Yeah, yeah.
Boo! New commentator jump scare. I am Weave, joined here with Broken Pinky, and we're going to be bringing you into top 8 of Great White Bracket here on this beautiful Swimmer Sync 101. We're going to get right into it. Twilights Cruzada versus Venti Simps United and some coordinates.
Venti Simps United, let's see what those are. 73, 81, 56, 8, North, 85, 08, 08, 9, West. Somewhere in the middle of the Arctic Ocean. Surely you guys can venture out in there. Maybe you'll swim, maybe you'll sink. That's just the wonders of, I guess, being in the Arctic Ocean. But we are in top 8 of Great White Bracket here at Swimmer Sync. 101, not quite as monumental as 100, but still a big deal nonetheless. We've reached that barrier, and we're heading right into it on Zone Rhinewater for game 1. Please, what are your thoughts on the stage?
It's a stage. I don't know. It's interesting. Really long range weapons are gonna be super powerful. We don't even get time to talk about this stage. We're already getting right into it. Twilights Cruzada on the left, on that orange versus bringing out the 96, bringing out the Flingza, actually backless versus Venti Simps United. Yeah, Venti Simps United, that's gonna be them in the blue. Bringing out the E-Leader Splash Neo and then the Wiper Tetra combo.
Yeah, Wiper Tetra combo, very fun. Some of you in Splatoon 2 might have remembered the Tetra Brush combo, and Wiper Tetra can kind of just act as a spiritual successor to that in a sense, and already Tetra going in, Wiper going in. They get one for 2, which is not a great trade, but I mean, that's the thing about Wiper Tetra, they both have QR, they'll be back pretty immediately after their first death, but already this 96 on Twilights Cruzada, shooting forward, has that Kraken, has it pop, trying to get some kills in the zone, and really just force some chaos onto Venti Simps, and actually gets the pick on Zenith there, and gets the pick on the Charger as well, which is absolutely huge for Twilights Cruzada.
Beautiful pick for Keto, and he is already pushing all the way up here into the ramp, getting a really nice spot here. Brine Water spot zones can be a really snowballing map once you get past that ramp. Getting past that ramp is the hard part, and we're going to see 2 of the members of Twilights Cruzada get kind of pushed off to the side here as Venti Simps United briefly retakes the zone. That poor E-Leader getting targeted with all of the missiles, which, you know, really mitigates their control in the zone for a little bit as, you know, Twilights Cruzada is going to move back in and kind of regain some control, not really losing all too much.
Yeah, with Twilights Cruzada still has control of the zone. Venti Simps kind of just stuck in their spawn a little bit. Kraken is going for that E-Leader, I believe. Able to get the pick on the Wiper instead. Gets a nice trade for them. Twilights Cruzada now has the lead. Still pushing this zone timer down, but Jisha off of Venti Simps is able to cap that zone with a tri-strike. It's just the 10 attack left for Twilights Cruzada, and Jisha ruthlessly hunting for them, but their teammate actually goes down on the push onto the ramp, so Venti Simps just kind of has to coordinate a little bit more together to get that push going, because they are almost through the penalty. There we go, and they're close to getting this lead, and I mean, as we said with the Brine Water zone, things can quickly snowball out of control.
Yeah, Twilights Cruzada already losing the lead here to Venti Simps. This poor E-Leader once again getting targeted by all the missiles. The Twilights Cruzada's Flingza does not want them to live very long. 96 gonna get picked off. Tri-strikes are gonna go out, but don't really accomplish much. Flingza also down. That's 2 down in Twilights Cruzada, 3 down. It's only Ori over there on the machine, who does also get picked off, putting Venti Simps United in a pretty good spot with a wipe, and you are already gonna see them pushing as far up as they can. E-Leader taking a pretty nice angle. Reef Slider actually getting some mileage there as it gets a pick, and now the Tetris is in a great spot to be as annoying as possible. Tetra's doing Tetra things, you love to see it.
Until they get killed by the 96 that just dropped onto them. You know, I feel like you see 96 as a head player and you get a little bit sad because why'd that one have to get Kraken? But regardless, it's 96 making some plays, gets the pick on the leader in the zone, able to help get that cap, gets the pick on Ivy Woomy right behind him, goes down to the Wiper finally, but getting 3 picks, there's a lot of value, but Ivy Woomy on the Zenith on this Wiper is able to get the cap on themselves, gets the pick onto the Flingza Roller, throwing that hammer, gets the pick with the hammer on the 96, and all of a sudden, Venti Simps United are uniting on this push up the ramp of Twilights Cruzada and trying to, you know, extend this lockout here on Brine Water. They're almost through their penalty here, and once they do, they'll be in real danger of getting a knockout if they can just hold, but now it's just the leader left alive in zone.
Twilights Cruzada has done a great job of getting picks, earlier in this match, but without a backline presence, it's been really easy for them to just kind of lose control and get wiped and get pushed back like we're seeing here. 8 seconds left on the board, 5 less than that. They're going to have to dive. They briefly get control of the zone. They're neutralizing it. It's a massive fight on the field to see if they can finally cap it once and for all. Kraken going to come out for a last-ditch effort, but it's not going to be enough. And Venti Simps United takes game 1.
Yeah, Venti Simps United coming together there, taking a very strong game 1. Twilights Cruzada had a strong push going, but eventually Venti Simps just got advantage, and they never really let go. Even if they lost the zone for a bit, they just kept holding to their advantage, and that's pretty much exactly how you want to play zones. It's just making sure you always have control of the area ahead of the zone, and Venti Simps United did a great job of that, and they're now at set point here.
I mean, in a best of 3, that doesn't really mean much. I mean, it does. It's not like they're fighting tooth and nail to get to set point, but it's not really a reverse sweep in a best of 3 set. Not in the same way as it is in those longer sets. But regardless, it is set point. Venti Simps United only has to take one more game, but that was far from free. Twilights Cruzada put up a very good fight. And here on a map that might prefer a little bit more of a backless comp, more so than Bright Martyr Springs with its vast open field, we might see a little bit of a different outcome here.
I mean, yeah, we're going to be getting into game 2 on Tower Control Inkblot, which, I mean, everyone loves this stage. Let's be real. Everyone loves TC Inkblot. Such a good stage, so many options you can do on both attacking and defending. So many places you can move. So much of the map is just opened up. You have access to enemy flat. You have access to bats. It's very free. It's very open, and it gives you a lot of things you can do and a lot of ways to coordinate and a lot of ways to play the stage, which is why it's so beloved. It's very expressive. Every team plays it a little bit differently, but is still comfortable on it. So, very excited to see how both these teams react to the Inkblot.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting for sure. And also, it's worth noting, this is a established team versus a pickup here, which, I mean, doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just always worth noting. I don't know.
Always worth building up that story a little bit, Who can do it? The pickup of the team.
Yeah, well, something like that. We're kind of spitballing here. But, yeah, TC Inkblot, good stage, thumbs up. Appreciate it.
We love TC Inkblot in this household, and if you don't, then reevaluate. I don't know. TC Inkblot's awesome.
Your opinion is valid.
Wait,
this is another. Wait,
I'm confused.
No, whatever opinion you have on TC Inkblot, it's valid. Thumbs up. Peace and love on planet Earth.
Yes.
Awesome. We are gonna get right into it. Let's go.
Getting right into game 2 here between Twilights Cruzada and Venti Simps United. Tri-Slosher Nouveau coming out for Twilights Cruzada, and we see the ZNF Splatter Scope coming out for Venti Simps United here.
Yes, the only correct way to say ZNF. But also we see the return of the Neo Blast, the return of that, basically the only thing that changed on Venti Simps United is that Tragic being swapped out for the more aggressive one versus the E-Leader, and already we're seeing a massive scuffle in mid. The Tetris and the Wiper doing Tetris and Wiper things, going in, immediately trying to engage the enemy, but unfortunately not coming out on top. And then 96, Kido on it, going ahead and already pushing up on the plat, getting picks and making his presence really known. Venti Simps United are still 2 down, and with this Kraken, it's not looking great for them, especially with these Wiper being backed into a corner here.
Yeah, both these last 2 games, Twilights Cruzada has been incredibly strong on the opening push here. And I mean, they've already cleared that first checkpoint relatively easily. Now they're starting to get contested at that second checkpoint, though. The Tri-Strikes are coming on the tower, but the Fling to have the missiles to start in the story, and Venti Simps United a bit. Venti gets to pick on the Wiper as well by the tower, and Twilights Cruzada still has control, still trying to break that second checkpoint. Very close to doing so, and there we go, second checkpoint falls, and Twilights Cruzada still has special advantage, still has the control of the tower right now, still putting so much pressure on Venti Simps United.
Yeah. Really nice thing about that block is it allows you to back out, but back right in right easily. And, Twilights Cruzada, they had a brief little disadvantage there, but they're still holding really strong. And this Kraken, instantly going to get a ton of free value, chasing off the charger and making it so where, you know, that very powerful charger cannot get much presence on the field, as hopefully Cruzada's teammates are going to be following right in Kito's footsteps here. But that is going to be 3 down. It's only the T-Tech left alive, and they are going to be pressured. Already Woomy on the Tetras going in, doing Tetra things. I've said that a lot, but you know, it is what it is. And going in and, you know, just forcing fights and making sure that Twilights Cruzada is not going to be comfortable for too long on this defense here.
As someone who plays Tetris, it's kind of hard to describe playing Tetris as anything other than going in and doing Tetra things. So you get some slack on that one, because you do just kind of do Tetra things. You just roll around, be hard to hit, and be really annoying. Stay alive, kind of. Sometimes you die, but if you die, you have QR. And right now, I mean, Venti Simps United trying to stay alive in this push here. It's actually a 1v1 between the Triuvo and the Wiper. Last 2 remaining on the field. It actually goes in favor of the Wiper, so Zenith here is going to be keeping the push alive for Venti Simps United as they bring that car back to plat. Hammer Throw's going to come out. Going to find a kill, but still able to disorient things a little bit. Tetras are down for Venti Simps United, but they're going for that second checkpoint again. 96 is going to contest the tower, though, and going to stall it.
Yeah, Wiper still really holding on here, getting the pick on the 96, I believe, and gonna go for the T-Tech, getting it once again, and still here, basically being a discount Tetris and still forcing fights and being annoying and hard to displace. Hammer Throw is going to come out, actually going to get the 96. This is looking really good for them. They have the lead and they're rapidly approaching this 3rd checkpoint. Charger on the tower, moving forward, making it really difficult to do anything. You can't move without getting sniped by this, the scope. And the Tri-Strikes that have come out from both the Neo Splash and the Charger are going to make things even more difficult, as that just is going to snowball things here. Rapidly approaching, 5 seconds left on the timer. That's going to be game 2, also going to Venti Simps United.
And that's going to be game, set, and match. Venti Simps United takes it 2-0 over Twilights Cruzada and are going to move on to top 4 of Swim with Sync 101. Twilights Cruzada had a great run to get here, made it all the way to Great White Bracket, got that nice 2-0 over SMH Duck, but not quite able to pull together. I think they're going to bow out at 5th place. So still respectable, you know. 5th place at Great White, nothing to sneeze at, but it is Venti Simps United that's going to be moving on.
And they, Twilight Cruzada absolutely did do a great job there. They just, they had some amazing pushes, amazing plays, just not quite able to eke it out over, you know, just the Tetra Wiper comp. Always great to see. But that is going to be it, like we said, from this set. We are going to take a short break as we move on further into Great White.
See you guys then. Hello everyone and welcome back to Swimmer Sync 101. I'm Broken Pinky, joined here by Weep, and we are now in top 4 of Great White Bracket. Weep, how you feeling right now?
I'm excited. I'm not tired at all. The media lies to you. I am feeling fine. I'm feeling so fresh right now, but I am still, regardless of whatever I am. I'm very excited to get into this top 4, having a good time. These a really tight competition tonight, and what matchup are we going into, Pinky? Do you know?
I have an inkling that we're going to be going into the semifinals match between Nightmare and Lois seriously farts on SynRGs' legs. So everyone in chat, make sure to type 1 if you also fart on people's legs, just in solidarity with this team and whatnot. Just, you know, get some interactivity, all that good stuff as we prepare for this matchup between, honestly, 2 really strong teams. I'm looking forward to this for sure.
Me and Pinky are both very familiar with Nightmare. They are a certified... We see them tear it up all the time in Squid Junction, and, you know, we might just see them tear it up here in SOS. But, you know, it's not going to be easy. We have a very stacked lineup on the side of Lois seriously farts on SynRGs' legs, so who knows what we'll see out of this.
I mean, there's a lot of things we can see, a lot of possibilities, especially on game 1, which is actually going to be on Clamless Museum. And I mean, Clams, there's a million ways you can approach this, and on Museum, there's a lot of ways you can approach it, but the end-all be-all is essentially wipe them twice so you can actually make it to the basket and get a push going.
Yeah, I mean, once you have control of the plat, though, it's pretty down pat. You can maintain it pretty easily. You can get something like a crab up on the spinner, helps maintain a lot, or just any backline really is gonna help excel. But like, once you get on the spinner, it's really just a test of how well you can maintain it. But it takes a lot to get up there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited. I'm always excited to see Museum in general. I would definitely say Museum is my favorite map in this game. I think it's really good on all 4 modes, but I think it works best on Clamlets because you still have the small bit of left root cover, but also just it works well on Clamlets. It's kind of one of those fortress maps where you do have to push through that fortress, but you have so many options on both offense and defense around that spinner on your own plat and in your galleries on your right and left side, and how to drop to smartly disengage. I don't know. Museum is just a very well-designed map, and it works really well in this game. I'm thrilled it's back. I love playing on it. I love commentating it. I love seeing it. I'm excited for this.
I'm also very excited. I basically the rare Pinky W opinion we're seeing here on stream. You know, it's a map where offense and defense feel pretty balanced. It's really just a test of skill of how well you can execute it. There's no real advantage on either side. It's just if you win, you win. You lose. Smiley face. Thumbs up. We're gonna go right into it.
The key to winning is
awesome.
not losing it, and we're seeing a team go with that strategy by picking 3 splashes and a stamper, juxtaposed by 2 splashes, a vanilla shot, and a machine on the side of Nightmare, I believe. So.
And if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing's changed at all?
This team is playing for not. These teams are playing to not lose, which, you know what? Valid.
You know, I mean, nothing wrong with playing meta. It's not always the most interesting to watch, but you know, it's still fun to play. Still absolutely a test of, you know, who is able to execute their plans better. And right now it's looking like Lois seriously farts on SynRGs' legs is going to be the one who have the advantage right now. Already less than or around 30 seconds in, already getting a push going. Have plenty of clams still left on the board, and are, you know, going for it.
Yeah, executing a beautiful plan here. That victory sign can go toot in their favor. Should this push continue, but it looks like it's going to stop at 44, at least for a while. And yeah, Lowe's seriously farts on SynRGs' leg. Opting to regroup in mid, try not to die, and as I say that, 2 of them go down, I believe, to the same Zuka shot from Storm here. I think it's Storm C-Dig on the splatter shot. Very nice play on this splatter shot here, really enabling Nightmare to push forward and get some mid back after a pretty strong push from Lowe's seriously farts on SynRGs' leg.
Yeah, we are gonna keep saying the full name each time. By the way, that is a recurring thing.
It's our due
yeah, of course. And already though, Nightmare getting a strong retaliatory push going. They already get the basket in. They have plenty of time to follow up with. This crab, Goslin the crab, gonna be able to get a pick off and enable their teammates to get a few more clams in. Machine is down and another splash is down, which means that, and that crab is going to be super, super impressive, meaning that this might be the end of the push. But Goss is still on the plat. They have not given up mid control quite yet, and don't look like they're going to give it up anytime soon either.
I mean, yeah, you never want to give up any plat control on the game because any kind of pressure you can put on the enemy plat is so powerful. And I mean, Nightmare knows this, but Lois seriously farts on SynRGs leg, able to push them out just a little bit. There's still one there. They finally go down that machine, finally get the pick off, and now it's all just kind of centralized around Nightmare's own plat here. Nightmare still has a lot of mid control, but Lois seriously farts on SynRGs leg. I would imagine that he's going to try and change that if we enter another team fight here.
Yeah, I mean, the onus is still on Nightmare to make more pushes. That's still a pretty heavy lead between them and Lois seriously farts on SynRGs leg. But in the test is really if they're going to maintain mid control, and with 3 members down, it looks like they're not. Lois seriously farts on SynRGs leg is moving into position to get a push going. If they didn't go 2 down, the splash is cornered, not looking good for them, and now it is only the stamper. Beautiful defense by Nightmare, making sure that Lois seriously farts on SynRGs leg cannot get in at all. They did not budge an inch.
Yeah, they were not letting them fart on their legs, unfortunately, because I mean they don't fart on Nightmare's legs. That's absolutely no can do. And I mean right now Nightmare's still trying to break through that wall of Lois seriously farts on SynRGs leg. Not quite able to do it. Still kind of stuck in mid. One is going around for that flank on that power clam, but gets taken out a little early. Does put some attention on it, but that crab is also being taken out by the basket, and that's almost assuredly a basket breaker from Nightmare here. They get the ball and they get the lead as well, and they're still getting clams in. Down to 29 is just one splash forced to run away, but a push to 29 is very solid here. But that wipeout gives free real estate for Lois seriously farts and SynRGs leg to get all the snap control right back.
At this level of play, these teams know what's up. They know that if they get a wipe, they can move in the blink of an eye and get a push going. This super jump back onto the plat is going to enable them to get that ball in all the way down to 17 points. There's still a splash with a crab on the board with 4 clams. It looks like they are going to opt to back out to mid, satisfied with their lead, but it's all but over. Still a minute left on the board for Nightmare to get themselves recuperated and recollected and back together, get some specials on the board, get some clams, and maybe see one last push from them if they play the cards right.
Yeah, Lois seriously farts on SynRGs legs. Not want to squeeze their luck too hard. They want to make sure, I mean, be smart, be careful with how you aggress forward so you don't put yourself too much at risk. And I mean, they're able to do this, still holding mid. Crowd gets the pick on the machine. And I mean, Lois seriously farts on SynRGs leg already on Nightmare's plat once again. Has the ball for the basket breaker. And they just have so many clams in their arsenal right now. They can easily get this knock if they can get the splash by the basket. And that magical journey trying to get there, gets one in, but that's going to stall their push at 9 here. And that's going to give an opportunity for Nightmare to try to make a comeback, presumably in overtime.
Yeah, they only have 15 seconds plus that overtime that with those pities they're basically guaranteed. And they already are trying to push forward. They're using this crab to put some pressure on the plat to allow their teammates to move in and themselves here. But now they don't. They have 2 specials on the board. They have another crab and they have that Zuka. But then that Zuka can get some picks if that crab is well positioned and can get value. It looks like they could get a push going. 2 down on the side of Lois, seriously farts on SynRGs legs, and that's going to be a push going. But unfortunately, it's only Goss on the field. Out of the crab, they only have a few clams, and it's them against the world. They do go down. That's looking like it's going to be game 1 is going to go to Lois seriously farts on SynRGs legs.
Yeah, that basket seals shut, and Lois seriously farts on SynRGs legs, able to just peter out any sort of push opportunity. That last push from Nightmare, not quite able to make it happen. They did break that basket, but couldn't get any clamps in that follow-up just because they were so focused on breaking the basket rather than getting some control. And I mean, it's a decisive moment. That's what happens when the pressure is high. Sometimes you just want to get that score. You want to go, and you forget about, the rest of the team there. So that's going to cost them game 1, but Nightmare still has 2 games if they want to stay in the tournament, and that's going to have to start with them winning here on Zone's Mako. What are some of your thoughts on the stage?
I mean, first off, we could see a completely different game here. Going from the most complex map mode, or not map mode, but just the most complex mode to the most simple. It's an entirely different game. Zones is something is a mode where we often see a weird upset. Teams that have been getting stomped suddenly take it back on zone. So even though we have a very small sample size so far of one game, it was very close, and we could definitely see a complete swap here with Nightmare potentially dominating here. But overall, Miko Mart is not a bad stage to be going to. Very balanced from both sides, and these teams have a similar comp, so they'll probably fare evenly. It's gonna be really like Clan Blitz Museum was just a test of skill of who can play it better.
Let's be honest, on Splatoon 3 for the Nintendo Switch, Zone's Mako is a phenomenal map to be assigned to go into for a tournament.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
some slim pickings here, but this one is ripe and juicy. And I mean, tried and true map mode, everyone loved it in Splatoon 2. People still like it in Splatoon 3. And I mean, I doubt we're gonna see many comp changes here. Both these teams know pretty much exactly what they want to run. We're probably gonna still see some splashes. This Crab is really strong on the stage, even with the sign update. Not quite able to block the sidelines of Crabs as effectively as I'm sure Nintendo wanted to, but even still, I mean, I doubt comps are going to change. It's mostly just going to be how each of these teams chooses to attack the battlefield.
Yeah, notably the triple splash comp did win last time, but I'm sure that's completely irrelevant. I mean, generally though, it was a very powerful comp. That Stamper also put in a ton of work, and I mean, we could definitely, like we saw, it was very close, and we could definitely see something different here. But why speculate when we can just go right into it?
Why speculate when you can commentate? Here we go, game 2 of this semifinal set. Neither of these comps are changing whatsoever between Nightmare and Lois. Seriously, Farts and SynRGs leg. Here we go on Zone's Mako.
We did see Storm switch from the Vanilla Shot to the T-Tech. Those Tri-Strikes going to help a bit more in terms of control versus just raw pickage. We already see Miner on the machine going into their the enemy team's breakfast, is putting a lot of pressure on the Plat. Crab also going out on the right, and it looks like it is going to be, or at least it was, Nightmare on that first cap, which is now overtaken by Lois. Seriously, Farts on SynRGs leg. However, it's still very hotly contested in mid. Even though players are starting to go down, it's still anyone's game.
Yeah, Lois trying to fart in that direct style, trying to stink up the place a little bit, trying to ink up the place a little bit, trying to keep control of that zone. The splash, trying to make some moves happen, going around that zone. Ruby going on a magical journey here, but gets forced into the corner with the Stamper here as Nightmare takes control of the zone again. Tri-Strike barely missing the kill on the splash. But nice pressure, but now Lois uses the and SynRGs leg, have a Crab at the ready, and I mean, yeah, that's going to be the zone. Another Crab is going to be popped on the enemy stack, chasing enemies in breakfast, chasing enemies by the melons, by the boxes. Yeah, right now, Lois using and SynRGs leg has a lot of control right now.
Yeah, that's just you really just showing the power of the triple splash comp. You know, almost 100% uptime on those Crabs. Just you get one, and then your teammate is ready with another, and then your teammate is ready with another. Absolutely insane. And Crabs have such a chokehold on this map in terms of sightlines. Nightmare is 3 down right now just because of the the pressure that's been put on and the burst bombs that have been thrown from all of these members. Not a single non-burst bomb sub-weapon in sight. But again, another Crab is ready on the side of Lois. Seriously, Farts and SynRGs leg. However, specials also coming out from Nightmare. The Tri-Strikes are going to come out. The Booyah Bomb is going to come out, and that is going to force Lois. Seriously, Farts and SynRGs leg back just a little bit here. Picks are starting to come out. 2 down on the side of Lois. Seriously, Farts and SynRGs leg, as we're going into a bit of a situation where Nightmare's starting to get some control back.
Yeah. This is definitely a situation for sure. The machine gets picked off, gets triple teamed by the Fart squad, and I mean right now, Lois seriously Farts and SynRGs leg is being very smart and trying to set up these 2v1s here. Where I mean these players get individually signed. Nice pick on the T-Tech. It's just Splash versus machine in zone, but the machine is actually going to win that 1v1. Another Splash tries to jump in, but is forced to run away because of that matchup. And Nightmare finally breaking out of their own Nightmare here, have control of that zone, and I mean, they want to hold on to it for as long as they can because it's kind of do or die for them here. They're down a game in bracket and it's single elim, so they have to win this if they want a chance to bomb to grand and to not drop to that bronze match.
So many Crabs out on the field right now, but Nightmare is still in control. They're still getting picked. Zipcaster is going to come out and get taken down. This splash is going to get collapsed on. Looks like it's only one left on the side of Lois Siriusly Farts and SynRGs Leg, and I'm really starting to regret our decision to say the full name each time, but Nightmare is rapidly approaching their lead here, really putting pressure on, and they have such a strong chokehold. There are going to be some crabs coming out pretty soon here that are going to, you know, put some pressure on Nightmare. However, it's not going to be enough, at least, to stop the lead. Only 5 seconds left on the clock, and it's looking like it's going to be pretty hotly contested. A lot of paint going out in the zone right now. We're going to see if Lois Siriusly Farts on SynRGs Leg does take it and is going to have a second chance here. But with 2 going down, Nightmare's still at the advantage.
Yeah, Lois Siriusly Farts and SynRGs Leg has a second lease on life right now. Got that penalty, but that penalty quickly ticks down. It's now at 45, which is about, you know, roughly 2/3 of what it started at, and it's ticking out even faster. But Lois Siriusly Farts and SynRGs Leg have to, you know, use that boost action of those farts to get their way into zone fast, because they're running out of time a little bit here. But that's 2 dead on the side of Nightmare. Lois Siriusly Farts and SynRGs Leg back into the zone, trying to get some control. Crab is going to run out on the left side of the map and is just being swarmed by 3 different people. That splash did not stand a chance. And right now, Lois Siriusly Farts and SynRGs Leg is getting dangerously close to getting through that penalty. And what to do, they'll be close to that lead. Crab is popped. Strike strikes are popped in response, but this crab is still alive and well. And another crab gets popped right behind it. This is what you love to see in Splatoon 3, ladies and gents. That's going to be the splash down on the side of Nightmare. And Lois Farts and SynRGs Leg is very close to getting this knockout here. Just have to paint the zone for a little bit longer. 3, 2, 1, and that is going to be game, set, and match for Lois Siriusly Farts on SynRGs Leg.
Yeah, really close game there. Came down to the wire quite a few times, but Lois Siriusly Farts on SynRGs Leg, whose name I am very slowly starting to resent, just based on our little self-imposed challenge. It does take it out just from the pure pressure that the crabs are able to put out, how well timed they were, how well positioned they were, just overall very impressive. But both very close games, both you know, exactly what we love to see here.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty similar to what we saw in that last set. Very close games between both these teams, but Lois Siriusly Farts and SynRGs Leg has that clutch factor a little bit in that 11th hour. Able to pull out some new tactics that Nightmare wasn't ready for, and just able to bring it back from the brink both times. Very well done to them. Lois Siriusly Farts and SynRGs Leg, a name that I'm actually not resenting whatsoever, because I don't really care about it. I think it's funny, and that's enough for me. Going to be moving on through this bracket. I believe we have to grand finals. Nightmare, a commendable effort, is going to be fighting for 3rd in that bronze match, but after this short break, we will be coming back to you with grand finals of Swimmer Sync 101. Don't go anywhere. Make sure to stay tuned. Don't want to miss this one.
See y'all then. Hello and welcome back to Swimmer Sync 101. We're here with Great White Grand Finals. We've got Sonder versus Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg. And Pinky, would you hate me if I dropped it? Would you hate me if I just started calling them like one word instead of 5 each time? It's making it very difficult for me.
I mean, I already hate you, but I hate you a little bit more.
I mean,
just a little bit more. I mean, if that's a concern for you, then go for it. But like, come on, you have to do your due diligence. That's their God-given name, Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg. You know, you have to do it.
You convinced me. We'll do it. I'll suffer through it and waste so much time that I could be actually making comments on the game instead talking about their name for 20 minutes. But anyway, Sonder versus Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg. Other than their names, do we have any thoughts?
Two formidable teams. Very, very strong teams. Very good in this tournament. Worked hard to get here, and I mean, here they are, ready to take things on. Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg actually has not dropped a single game throughout this entire bracket so far. As opposed to Sonder, who's had 2 back-to-back game resets, but we are now that we're in grand finals, we are in best of 5 territory, where the matches are the tightest and they're most competitive, and we're just going to be hopping right into it here. Grand finals of Swimmer Sync 101 on Rainmaker Undertow.
Yeah, very interesting map mode here, and we're gonna see the classic triple splash stamper that they've been running versus Sonder, who's opting to run a more varied comp, including a vanilla shot, that ever-present splash, the machine, and a wiper, which is something that you always love to see here. But we'll see how these teams play out. Looks like Sonder already gotten the pop, and now they're just opting to charge specials instead of just rushing head straight into it.
Sorry, hold on. Remind me again, what's the name of the team running the triple splash stamper? I forgot.
Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg, and by the way, they are two down right now. Just so you know, a crab got taken out, and this looks like this one also might get taken out here by this wiper, but actually ends up getting the pick off instead. They do get a decent push there on the Rainmaker, but not quite making the checkpoint before getting taken out enough that they are now in disadvantage and are going to be fighting to maintain mid control.
Yeah, Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg is going to be using that bar boost to glide that Rainmaker to that checkpoint. Currently stalling, waiting for that Trizuka to be run out. It's gone. Now just the machine on the end of the team has their special. Machine gets taken out, and I mean, Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg has a crab at the ready, but there's only 2 alive right now. This Rainmaker understands they kind of just have to hold forward and hope to get as many points as possible. They only get it to 86, which I mean, it's not a lot, but it's pretty hard to get a sizable amount of points on Rainmaker Undertow before you get to that first checkpoint, especially on that left side path. And both these teams know it. They know how crucial it is to defend that first checkpoint, which is why so much of their defense has been centralized around there.
Yeah, and as I wonder what's wrong with my co-commentator, it looks like Sonder's getting a bit of mid-control back. They do have a few specials online. They're going to be using that Trizuka to cancel the crab on the side of Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg, which is actually massive. That opens up a lot of mid for them, and now this splash is going to be, you know, they're starting to be pressured by the machine. Of course, though, with a triple splash comp, you're never going to get rid of the crabs. They're always, you know, it's like a Hydra, you know, cut one head off and there's 2 more waiting for you. But it looks like they're going to push it again, and they see an opening towards the right. They take it, and they get the checkpoint.
I mean, you know what? That's a great way of putting it. I actually like that analogy a lot. And I mean, these Hydra heads are still going, trying to get this Rainmaker pop, but Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg knows that it's not in the cards for them tonight. Sonder's going to get that pop right there by that checkpoint, but I mean, Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg has that first checkpoint out of the way. That's a big one, and now for all the future pushes, they can freely go all the way to the left and get a very safe push going as soon as they can make it past that threshold once again. Meanwhile, Sonder on the back foot here, forced to respond. They have that pop on the Rainmaker, but they still need to get a few more picks before they feel truly safe to push that Rainmaker all the way up to that checkpoint.
Yeah, it feels like Sonder's kind of, you know, taking their time here a little bit. And just making sure that they have good control before they push, which of course is a great thing, but it does mean that they are going to be like a little bit slower, and they're giving time for Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs legs to switch or to rotate around here, getting you know, set up for defense pretty good, and they're going to get a few picks before Sonder even gets the chance to push here. The crab is going to delay the push even further, and looks like they're kind of stuck here in the right court area, so looks like the push is going to end here, but that's that.
They rotated on which leg they wanted to fart on, and that was enough to stop Sonder's push. Dead in his tracks. Not able to get a single extra point. That Rainmaker is still very much in mid right now. In a very favorable precision for Lois, Siriusly, SynRGs leg, and yeah, Sonder goes 3 down. That spot shot, or I think that was the actually. They got that last ditch effort to grab that Rainmaker, gets a few more points. It's also a little bit longer, but I mean, Lois, Siriusly, SynRGs leg, quick on this take up. They have a crab pop, they have a dipcaster at the ready, and I mean, they're just going in right now. They have cleared that first checkpoint marker, down now to 47. They're still there, still trying for this pop. Zipper has that recall that they get taken out. It's just one of the splashes alive for Lois, Siriusly, SynRGs leg as they all come from the respawn. But Sonder only has a minute left to make this comeback happen and get it down to 46.
Yeah, that second push there, not only did it, you know, really put more pressure on Sonder in terms of map control, and having to push the Rainmaker further away, but it also makes it so that they're gonna struggle even more to get the lead here. And so as the Rainmaker resets, as Lois, Siriusly, SynRGs like starts to get some crabs charged, it looks like, you know, this push is not going to come easy. This crab is going to pop out on the checkpoint and going to be able to basically pressure everyone in that right side pretty much for free. Wiper does go down on side of Sonder, and it looks like Sonder was trying to push it right a little bit, but stopped in their tracks just by the sheer power of Low Siriusly, SynRGs leg.
Yeah, Sonder not quite able to get a push going right now, and they don't have any time left to do so. It truly is now or never. That Rainmaker is not even popped. The Splash is just camping the super jump, stopping the Rainmaker from being popped, and Lois, Siriusly, SynRGs leg keeps their win streak alive here, taking game 1 of Grand Finals. And I mean, yeah, Lois, Siriusly, SynRGs leg has not dropped a single game this whole tournament. I just checked, so definitely the favorites here. Sonder has to respond to it, and they only have 2 more games to do so.
Yeah, no, just in this bracket, they've steamrolled through Expresso, Sugar Rush, Nightmare, which you saw last game, and now it looks like they're setting themselves up to have a really good run against Sonder. So we'll see how it continues. But Rainmaker is a very different mode from all the other ones. It's much more breakaway heavy, very fast paced. You can't stay on offense or defense for too long. Sometimes it feels. But Clamlets is a very different game. So do you have any thoughts on Clamlets Brine Springs?
Insert the map as a Tetris block. I don't know. That's kind of what the community humor has devolved into at this point, and of course fart jokes, which is why we're here, to be honest.
Splatoon players have 2 jokes. Let's be for real. And one of them is Tetris blocks, and the other is probably something about crab. To be honest, I don't know. But
they have 2 jokes, and they're both complaining about the game.
This is true. Nobody hates the game more than the people who play it the most. But as we go into it, we're just gonna really see how these teams interact on a mode that is more mid-fight central. You have to push up, but you also get pushed back. I don't know. I'm making very blanket statements here because I mean it's a mode. It's a pretty standard clanless mode.
Yeah,
not really much special.
Like on Clans Rhinewater, you like shoot them a little bit and like do something to the splat, and like you pop your special a little bit, and that's really cool. You like your hair glows and all that sort of stuff. It's really cool. But no, Clanlets.
You can shoot ink on this map.
Bro, no way. Wait, did you know you
press ZL to turn into a squid?
You can swim through it, and then boom, you're a squid now. Let go, you're a kid now. Press it again, you're a squid now. Let go, you're a kid now.
This is groundbreaking.
This is the best Splatoon commercial of all time. Nintendo should hire us so bad.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Mr. Doug Bowser? Like we're the newest Tyrese. Anyway, about the actual stage. Clans Rhinewater, that basket is a stone's throw away. It's really not that hard to get to that basket, and once again, you can just kind of push up past it and really get a nice, classic Rhinewater lockout going. And we might just see that as we go right into game 2 of Grand Finals between Sonder and Lois, Siriusly, SynRGs leg. Lois, Siriusly, SynRGs leg not changing their comp, and it looks like Sonder is not changing it either.
Sometimes you just gotta stick with what works. I mean, if you're warmed up on a weapon, why switch off? If the comp is working, why switch off? So we're gonna see here how these comps interact. Backlist, which is something that is a little bit less favored on Brine Water just because of how open the map is, how strong backlands can be, but these teams are both pretty aggressive, you know, obviously favoring their zero crab comps, and already Sonder is showing a different side of themselves, already getting 2 down on Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg and pushing up towards the basket.
I don't know if you can really say that Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg is running backless considering they have 3 splashes and therefore 3 crabs. I feel like that in and of itself is kind of crazy. Let's being completely honest. And they're definitely taking advantage of their comp right now. Have a lot of mid control right now. It's entirely changing their color. They also have a decent amount of clams right now, but both their clam carriers actually go down and kind of just reset to 0. And now Sonder moving over yonder has that power clam, has that ball. It's taken out just before it can get to that basket, but it's still there. And that's going to be Sonder getting that first basket break.
Once again, wondering what's wrong with my co-commentator as Sonder continues to get a few clams and they are now out, but they still have a pretty tight chokehold on Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg basket. The crab and the hammer are going to go out. This machine is in a good spot to just apply a bunch of pressure, and even though they are 2 down, the splash might come in and take just a few more points before going down, ending the push, but a push to 50 is absolutely nothing to sneeze at, especially in a mode such as this. Already, Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg is going to move up off that wipeout, but so let's see how Sonder responds here.
Yeah, Sonder trying to respond as best as they can, but I mean, the double grab pressure is right in front of their basket. Not really a whole lot you can do about that. They're starting to pass the plants because they're Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg. Gonna get that basket breaker of their own. I think they're gonna try and do that ball jump by that basket. That's gonna extend their time greatly here, but they don't have enough for the lead just yet. That splash goes down. That's a delayed wipe. That push is going to be stopped at 57. Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg not able to get the lead with that push. They'll have to try again. And Sonder quickly getting some mid control back on that delayed wipe.
Yeah, Sonder had a nice sustained push there, and Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg was a bit more explosive, but it was almost enough, and now they only need basically 1 more push before they get the lead. But with Sonder having a decent amount of mid control, at least until they go 3 down, it's going to be a hard task. We'll see if this camera can scrape anything out, or if it's a special that exists, which it looks like it is. Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg already going to get another basket and already almost just a few points away. Going to get that power climb in, and that's going to be the lead for them.
That's a lead with gusto. I mean, you throw a football on the basket, that's a very clean lead, and all of a sudden, Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg very close to getting this knockout here. It's just the machine alive for Sonder. The rest of the members are starting to respond slowly, but yeah, that's going to be the knockout. Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg up 2-0 right now. And I mean, there were no raspberries on that push. Sonder not quite able to have a strong enough defense, and all of a sudden, Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg at tournament point.
Oh yeah, it looks like they it's seriously in the cards for them to not drop a single game here. With how dominant they've been, I would not put it past Sonder to get a game off, especially with that impressive push that we saw from them. But it's gonna be difficult 100%. This team is absolutely a force to be reckoned with. You know, for each character in their name, their power level goes up. So we can see who the clear winner is here.
So many characters, so much power, and I mean, so much aggression from Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs leg. You would think that a comp with 3 of the same weapon would not be nearly as versatile as they are, but I mean, that just speaks to the strength of their play and the strength of Splash as a whole weapon kit. They've been taking advantage of that beautifully all tournament, and I mean, Sonder really has to, you know, make a full response here. They have some good ideas there on plans, however, not able to fully formulate it. They have their last chance here on the final frontier with Lydia on Zone's Inkblot. Steve, how you feel about this stage?
It's a stage in the game. It's a Splat Zones stage, also in the game. That's a mode. It exists. And, I mean, it's a pretty even mode. I feel like these teams are going to take good advantage of it, pushing up onto the plat when they can. Just the aggression that their comps afford them is going to enable them to, you know, get some good lockouts started. And the crabs are going to be plentiful, as always.
Wait, so I forget. On this one, can you also ink the floor? I forget.
The jury's out on that one. I'll have to do a bit of research.
Okay. Well, you know, maybe we might see. We might just see that. I don't know.
You might be able to move around. There's these little sticks that come out of the controller, and I think if you press them, they might do something.
No, I don't believe you. Wait,
I think if you like
How can you press a stick? You can just move it. What are you talking about?
No, like with like your thumb, you know. Anyway,
Wait, I'm lost. Maybe these teams will explain as we get to Game 3 here of Grand Finals between Lois Farts and SynRGs Leg and Sonder here. Neither of these teams, or actually no, we do see a comp change. We see that T-Tech coming out on the side of Sonder to try and deal with that crab action from Lois Farts and SynRGs Leg.
I mean, they also are running crabless themselves. We're going to see the vanilla shot with the Zuka recently getting a buff to be able to shred crabs pretty easy. Already, though, we see a crab out. We see 2 crabs out, and I bet the third one's not too far on the way, but that one does get canceled, looks like by the wiper. And this is putting Sonder in a good situation here. 3 up versus Low Seriously Fast and SynRGs Legs 2. Chasing around these players in the right, it looks like this wiper's going to get a beautiful jump camp, and that is gonna be the first little push going to them. Unfortunately, though, Low Seriously Fart on SynRGs Leg is gonna rebound incredibly quickly, getting the zone back in their favor.
Yeah, Low Seriously Farts on SynRGs Leg has that speed part pretty much, able to just let them go wherever they want, whenever they want, just at lightning speed. And Sonder not quite prepared for it. They do have the zone right now, though. Low Seriously Farts on SynRGs Leg trying to get it back. The Stamper does get a pick off, and able to help the team get the cap. There's another pick from the Stamper, and the Stamper quickly trying to aggress onto the enemy plat here, trying to just control the area as much as possible. Gets another nice burst on pick on post, and yeah, Low Seriously Farts and SynRGs Leg is poised to get a nice lockout here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we've seen them do it before. Look how many specials are online. That is absolutely a recipe for a disaster for Sonder. But they're going to get specials out on their own here. Looks like they have fought off Low Seriously Farts and SynRGs Leg just a little bit. And that's going to be 2 down on the side of Low Seriously Farts and SynRGs Leg, making this a good chance for Sonder to rebound and regroup, get some of their specials up, get their coordination up. Gonna get 2 picks on the side there, gonna continue their hold, and hopefully if they play their cards right, they can get a lockout themselves going.
Yeah, Sonder countering the Farts with the Febreze spray and has that control of that zone right now, pushing it below 70 points, still ever further, and they have specials at the ready. They have the tri-strikes and what can loosely be called as a special in that ultra stamp on that wiper, but more importantly, closing it on that lead on those 2 Farts and SynRGs Leg, and there they go, they're gonna take it, and they still have numbers. As I say that, the machine goes down though. That's probably all Lois Seriously Farts and SynRGs Leg needs to get that zone. There they go, trying to get the lead back from Sonder after they took it by the slimmest of margins.
These last few games that we've seen Loisly Seriously Fart on SynRGs Legs take back the games after Sonder has had some impressive pushes. So we'll see how this goes here as we continue on. Sonder is currently basically locked on their plat. Looks like the Stamper there is going to get a nice pick on the Zuka user, making it even more difficult to get out. And now Loisly Seriously Farts on SynRGs Leg is counting down. There's only about 15 seconds left in this game for Sonder to do something and take the set back.
Yeah, exactly, and Sonder starting to run out of time here. Lois Seriously Farts and SynRGs Leg, keeping them out beautifully. The tri-strikes are going to come out, but that is just a little piddle onto the zone. Gets the pick on the splash, though. Both 2 splashes are down for Lois Seriously Farts and SynRGs Leg. That zone is being painted, and it goes in favor of Sonder. Starting to push over yonder, got that wipeout on Lois Seriously Farts and SynRGs Leg, and Sonder knows this is their last chance here. They were down 0-2 in this best of 5 series. It's now or never.
They do have Lois Seriously Farts and SynRGs Leg backed into a corner here, stuck on their bats, throwing torpedoes and stamps and tri-strikes all over the place, but they're still trying to make something happen. They do get the pick on the splash with the crab active, and gonna really bully these players, but it looks like they're doing a great job holding. They're using their specials well, they're positioning well to ensure that they're not going to be able to leave their plat. There's about 10 seconds left in this game before Sonder takes it, and it's looking like the cards are pretty good in their favor, but it's not over just yet until it is, and it is over.
Lois Seriously Farts on SynRGs Leg loses their first game all tournament, which feels ridiculous to say, but more importantly, Sonder is on the board and still alive and well in this grand finals. Takes game 3, brings the score a little bit closer to even, and we're going to be going to a game 4 after Sonder takes a very nice comeback victory.
The triple splash comp finally dethroned in this tournament to a comp that is, still very much meta, but it's a little bit quirkier, like 2 degrees quirkier. But now, as we move on to Tower Control Hacklefish, we might see something different. We might see the return of the crab from Sonder, or we might not. It's It's up to God at this point.
We might see the return of the crab on the side of Lois Siriusly Far's SynRGs leg. I'm not 100% sure, but
It's a toss up there.
I think
not
it's
really
likely. You know,
like a 10% chance. I wouldn't bet on it. I absolutely not.
yeah. Depends on which leg.
You know, they've been
play,
changing they've been changing up their comps so much this tournament. It's really hard to say what they'll run next.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, been really flexible with how they want to toot around in this tournament here.
Can you stop making fart puns for the love of God?
No, I'm gonna keep making them. I'm gonna keep making them in as dry of a voice as possible.
Have some professionals here. It is grand finals. We have some awesome games ahead of us. If only you would stop being annoying.
That's what I do best. That's why I'm on the mic. Is to
This
annoy
is
as
true.
many people as possible. I only annoy you in voice calls, okay? It's not fair. I have to spread the love.
Fine. Do we have any particular thoughts on tower control Hagglefish as we try to kill more time for these teams to ready up?
I do really like this stage. I do find it funny how at the beginning of the stage, tower control was probably the worst Hagglefish, and now it's probably the best, at least in my opinion. Very smart checkpoint layouts, a lot of opportunities brought by that tower. You can get on the enemy hut area, which is very nice. Obviously, the tent is a very strong crowd spot, very strong backline spot. I mean, pretty much nothing can change that, but even still, well-designed map, a lot of room to move. The flanks are really useful. I like this stage. I think a lot of teams like playing on the stage too, so I'm excited to see how this goes.
If only there was a poll in mid on TC Hagglefish, I think that would make everything better. I think that would make me personally, I think it would heal me. Everything is right in the world if they add more polls. But we see, oh my god, they're shaking things up. They
No
opt
way.
to add a Neo Splash. Things
They
are
put a
getting crazy
sticker on
here.
it. They put a sticker on it. I cannot believe
Unprecedented.
this. I cannot
Unprecedented.
believe this. I cannot believe this. This is unreal.
Oh my god. But anyway, looks like Sonder is sticking with their comp as well. We do see the crab, you know, there's one less of them, they're still gonna be here, already going out. The Zuga coming out in response, but not quite able to get anything, and now it looks like the battles are all on the sides. There's scant anyone in mid as things go on. People are fighting for picks, fighting to get any semblance of control as, you know, mid is a bit of a death trap in this map.
Yeah, but right now, Sonder has controlled that tower, trying to take it over yonder to that checkpoint, but that's still a long way to go. But right now, they're up 4-2 against Lois Siriusly Far's SynRGs leg, bringing it close to that first checkpoint. And Sonder, I mean, has a good amount of stuff to that play. That B-bomb could be popping. Here comes Tri-Strikes onto the tower, gets the pick on the machine mid Booyah. But even still, Sonder moves that tower to that first checkpoint, and they're trying to break it.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to back out just a little bit here. Well, and they're going to get a jump cancel, which is very, very rough here. This is going to give Lois Siriusly Far's SynRGs leg a lot of room to work around, a lot of paint, you know, to get their crabs charged. They have, you know, that one at the ready, and their zip is also going to go up pretty soon. They have tri-strikes, looking very good for them. They have the special advantage. They also have numbers, and they're positioned very well in order to get this checkpoint here. They already have taken Sonder's lead, taking advantage of their misstep to go ahead and, you know, get that back, snatching it back from them, saying you can have that once, but not anymore. And now it looks like they are starting to fall apart just a little bit, but not before they nearly break this checkpoint. Only one splash left before they're going to be forced to back out by just the sheer force of Sonder returning to mid and forcing themselves back out.
1 point away, Lois Siriusly Far's SynRGs leg just had to, I don't know, fart on that checkpoint a little bit to get that to break. Very, very
Stop.
close to doing so, but that kind of opens the door here for Sonder. They have control of that tower right now. Lois Siriusly Far's SynRGs leg trying to stop it, but don't really have any specials at the plate yet. Still waiting to target some crabs and some tri-strikes as we go back into a neutral state here. But, I mean, now that she's on the other foot, Sonder has to get it all the way down to 30 or lower, and that's going to require breaking these first 2 checkpoints, which is no easy feat on Hagglefish.
I mean, looks like, you know, it's no easy feat, but they're taking a running start onto this push here. The crab is going to be forced to back out, not getting too much value jumping out, and that basically is a 2 or 3 down scenario. It's going to give Sonder a lot of room. They're already moving up into the plat, but looks like they are going to get 2 down taken out. They are at this checkpoint. They do have the Booyah Bomb to take it, but Shy, unfortunately, gets taken out before they can do anything, and that's the second wipeout of this game. The first one, Lois Siriusly Far's SynRGs leg took way to their advantage, you know, getting up to that checkpoint, 1 point away from breaking it. And this, I'm guessing that the second one is going to go more of the same here. They're, very fast playing, pushing as far up as they can, getting the specials and making sure everything is laid out nice and neat for them to continue pushing on. But they are 2 down right now.
3 down as that hammer gets to pick on the crab, and one gets a little overzealous by tower, but half still back, still alive, giving jump to teammates. But they go down to the wiper there. That's a 2v1 that the wiper will definitely take in their favor, but Sonder still has to get that tower so far, and they're using the fire strike pretty early here. I guess trying to just get as big of a numbers advantage as possible for the ensuing push. Machine gets to take on the splash over the wall over yonder, quite literally. But right now, Sonder, 2 dead. It's just the T-Tech on the tower and the machine that popped that Rhea a little bit early, throwing it at that crab onto the tent. Gets a pick on the Stamper, another pick on the splash. This tower is still moving in favor of Sonder here.
It looks like 3rd time the try when it comes to breaking that checkpoint, and they are rapidly approaching Lois Siriusly Farce and SynRGs leg lead. And they are only a few points away. That unfortunately is 3 down on the side of Sonder. Going to be basically a wipeout as that shot gets picking off. And now there's only 50 seconds for them to take it back once again. They've done such a good job at keeping up their mental and keeping up the pressure and just going for the pushes for the rest of the game, not giving up at all. But it's going to be hard here, especially with how many specials are online for Lois Siriusly Farce and SynRGs leg, and just they don't have the numbers. Lois Siriusly Farce and SynRGs leg is getting set up pretty well. They're going to be passing this checkpoint here, the first checkpoint that they already broke, and getting into a great spot here. 20 seconds left on the board. We'll see how this shakes out.
Yeah, at this point, Lois Siriusly Farce and SynRGs leg doesn't really need any more points because Sonder has to break the entirety of that second checkpoint. That's such a tall task. And we're going to be going into overtime here in just 10 seconds, and Sonder is already 2 dead. T-Tech goes down on the tower. Machine is going to die by the tower as well. Wiper tries to get it, but that's not going to be enough. And Lois seriously farts on SynRGs leg. No raspberries for them. They are your swim or sink 101 champions.
Yeah, looks like they're really breaking wind here. Anyway, yeah, absolutely amazing playing from Lois Siriusly Farce on SynRGs leg. Never letting up the pressure, getting those amazing wipeouts, and just taking full advantage of it, pushing as far up as they can, making sure that Sonder couldn't breathe at all. They, they did lose their first game in this tournament, making it so they did not come away undefeated. But you're still never unhappy about winning.
A stain on the record, a stain in the sheets, but the trophy itself is safe and sound and in their possession, along with, I believe, a wonderful Sendo NFT. Huge congrats to Lois Siriusly Farce on SynRGs leg. Sonder fought well. They took the only game that off of Lois Siriusly Farce and SynRGs leg that they lost, made it all the way to Grands with a great run, but unfortunately came up just a little bit short. And again, huge congrats to both teams here, but it is Lois Siriusly Farce on SynRGs leg that's going to take the dub today. Great set by both these teams.
You once again just see Lois Siriusly Farce on SynRGs leg absolutely dominant run there, but yeah, that is going to be it. All great things must come to an end, and that is going to be Swim or Sink 101 wrapping up.
Yeah, that's going to be it from us. I do want to also mention, nice congrats to Nightmare for getting 3rd place in that bronze match. Very well done, and of course, once again, congrats to Lois Siriusly Farce and SynRGs leg. But before we sign off, gotta ask, Weef, where can the wonderful people find you?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. You can find me on both Twitter and Twitch at WeefSlider. I do stream sometimes, just occasionally, and I also make fun of Pinky all the time on my Twitter. It's a very common occurrence, a common Pinky L, to be honest. But Pinky, where can they find you?
You can find me taking all kinds of common Pinky L's on Twitter.com at BrokenPinky_, where I make some mid-takes, mid-clips, and all that mid-stuff for low-level players. And I mean, I'm also on Weef stream sometimes. That's kind of cool, but regardless, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for swimming in. That's going to be everyone at Swim or Sink 101 signing off. Have a great one, guys.
See y'all next time.